catch too much of my parents' movie.
What are they
Don't
watching?
worry about it. Don't worry about
What
it.
are they
So we're only
watching?
gonna.
Oh,
I mean,
So we're only
okay.
gonna have.
it might be fun.
Hey, it actually started on when I wanted it to. So,
So we're only
okay.
gonna have 4 people this time, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
alright.
have my spells picked out, and I'm all level.
so
Sorry,
Yep, we're missing our wizard, but that's okay. We're missing the
But we don't-
barbarian too, so I got a
Before
tank,
we
but
go
that'll be
in-
okay.
Let's
I gotta-
decide a general idea of
Well-
how we are going to approach threats.
well,
Are we going to make plans
Kill
first, or are we going to do what feels right?
Okay, last
It
time
really does
me and
depend,
Ryan
that's the problem.
both had really good plans, but the problem they were equally good, and we couldn't really decide on
Well,
one.
I think we were in the process of it.
you kept
And
planning in
then someone
circles.
ran out.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, the
Because I
problem
think
is it
it
really does depend, though. It does
If-
depend on the situation a lot.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
Like,
cannot.
if it's
But
just
if
like
we-
one small golem, I'll go beat him up. But
Right. But if we go
It's
in
an
with
army
the
of
idea
cultists.
of okay, so there's 2 different mindsets we can go into this through. We either just play D&D, or we make a game of it to come up with the best plans we possibly can for every situation.
I must say, don't do this, and you can figure it out as you go along. Because last time you decided to start planning too much, I spent 20 minutes waiting for you guys to figure out a plan, and then Fair died.
Okay.
yeah, and then we
Well,
lost our
I think what we
barbarian.
need is just better leadership, like someone to make the decisions and call the shots.
Okay.
All right,
So
That
it's
is
not
that I
just-
am fine with.
I vote Derpy.
I'm glad. Yeah,
No,
we're gonna just.
Derpy is not
absorb
joining
Derpy
the party. I'm
party.
sorry.
Oh
I'll take
no.
Now it's one of
Derpy
those
is a
green
fighter with like
kinds.
50 strength,
I-
50 dexterity,
I
destroys everything. in
volunteer,
their
I
path.
guess.
You volunteer to be a leader? How noble of you! How selfless!
I can.
I am going to type the names in, and then you guys can vote.
I don't think that this is a good idea. I think a leader will naturally emerge.
That's
You guys
probably a
are-
good idea. Yeah, to get along.
You guys are wanting to pick out a leader, so
Notion.
Notion. Why do I feel like that all of that was you?
It was all him except for wait, now Simmers is in here.
Yep.
Does Simmers even count? No.
So we have 2
Is
votes
Simmers
to
in here?
count.
Oh
Technically,
yes. What are you doing? Sir?
Technically, no votes count.
Sim is trying.
Can I be a delegate
Oh,
in this
no.
election?
He can't. He can't disobey the Galon.
That is true.
So we got 1 vote for ballistic, and that's it?
From ballistic. I mean, I
Oh,
voted for
okay,
myself.
so there's still 0 votes in this election.
Hey, I mean, I'm a candidate because I mean, there's a
Yeah,
vote
see,
for
the
me.
problem is, yeah. See, the problem is we're all just gonna
Yeah.
vote for ourselves. I think it is probably smarter to just let
I
it
think
happen.
that having a vote, you just have to see what happens naturally.
We'll figure out who's the real leader around here.
And please don't go out
I
of
will-
your way to try to lead for the sake of getting the leader role. Just do what feels right in your soul.
Ballistic. I
Let's
may have
go.
typed your name in there, but I do not think it is a good idea to have you as leader.
Aww.
I would
First
also like to
time
point out
player.
that everybody who voted, except for in Notion is concerned, voted for themselves.
Notion also
Oh,
voted
I
for
voted for
themselves.
myself.
Yeah, but
3
Notion
times
also
he
got
voted for
fair.
himself.
Notion also got fair to vote
I was about
for
to
him
say,
somehow.
Fair actually
I
voted,
vote for herself.
but only for the middle parts.
That's true.
Oh,
He
who voted
really
for
doesn't. The
Also,
fair
Simmers. Simmers, I
Fair-
am not
fair
gonna
doesn't
just
want
make
to
everyone
hold it.
enslave everything.
That might
Yes, I'm
be
sure.
the worst campaign slogan of all time.
Okay,
What?
so
I might not bring back slavery.
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm not gonna make I said I'm not gonna make you guys enslave everyone.
we're gonna do the recap
That's
now.
a great start.
We're gonna do the recap now, and I want somebody other than Rai or Notion. So either Yoshi or Ballistic to do it.
I liked Rise telling.
I vote Yoshi to go as tribute.
Okay, Ballistic has volunteered.
What? No.
Ooh.
I don't know what happened
My
the
trap
first.
card.
You were there. I don't want to hear that. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened the last. Like,
just
I don't know what
recapping
happened the
last
first few
one, right?
times.
You just had
No,
murder
we're
all
just
the
doing
time.
last
the last
session.
session.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
You can explain that one pretty well. You're the
Okay,
one with
so
all the memes.
okay, so we were walking and we found Dr. Hooves. He wanted us to save his waifu. Some of us said he isn't. That isn't his waifu. And so we decided to go on a quest to save Derpy. So we go to we go to her the mail area and we find that she isn't there, and we're investigating outside, and the mink goes under a porch to find some tracks. It didn't work out too well. We did find some tracks and we followed them all the way into the Everfree Forest. We found a tree polar bear and we found some tree wolves. We lit 2 of them on fire.
Tree wolf.
And one of them on water.
Hey.
we tried to freeze one.
And so we poured water on one of them. It was on fire. I'm not gonna say who because we shouldn't blame people.
That's easy for
And
you to
then-
say. You're talking zebra.
And then the bear fall.
And like
And then
that, a
Bear
new
Falling
meme
got
was born.
extinguished because someone threw an ice knife at a burning wolf, which not gonna
Of
say
course he
because there should be no blaming of stuff.
I'm
And
not gonna
then-
mention because they might be embarrassed,
and
and
then-
really you should leave them alone.
We're not gonna
And
name any names. Zebra.
And then we found some cultists with Derpy in the middle doing a ritual. We wasted 10 minutes trying to figure out a plan. Fairfallen ran out into the mill and got completely destroyed by them with magic missiles. There were memes made. Then they found out we were there, and I bravely just sacrificed myself and ran away to try and draw away the attention of all of them.
That was the best thing you did in the whole session.
Hey,
There's also so much potential for that to go wrong.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
say.
and then it somehow went so right.
I want to jump out from the top of the tree, get the attention of all of the cultists, and then run into the Everfree Forest by myself.
Not to mention you ran straight for a giant crocodile.
Flawless victory.
I
That was
turned
hardcore.
invisible. So I turned invisible and led them to a crocodile, to which they all died from.
Yes.
And
I have
He
to say,
thinks-
that was the only good use I've ever seen of someone casting invisibility. Like in all my years of D&D. It's
Wow.
always just a newbie who fucks it up, or that one specific instant.
oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that worked then.
Yeah,
So,
good job
and
with
then-
that.
And so then after that, there was one big unicorn left, and he got buried because they accidentally messed things up a bit. Derpy was able to escape with them. The guy did a Walking Dead and crawled out of the ground. And now we're back to and then we get a letter from someone, and this is where we are now.
So it
Yeah,
turns
My
out.
favorite part of that.
So that turns out that the letter was actually addressed to Archon. So
Indeed.
Oh.
Who?
he will tell you as much or as little as he thinks you need to know about the contents of the letter.
Okay,
Who's
so
Archon?
who's psychic?
I'm Archon.
My favorite part
For
about
me.
telling is you said Derpy was in the middle of the cult circle performing a ritual.
Yes, implying Derpy was one of the cultists. Derpy just like turns around and
Well,
blasts Faye.
Wait. Do we know she isn't? Do we know she isn't one?
I mean, she was the one tied up in the middle of them.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It could have been a
It
secret
could
plan.
just be kinky,
A
guys.
decoy.
Oh no.
Hang on
I
a
don't
second,
think
wait a
that's
minute.
We're not going down that road. Wow.
Already,
But then-
Notion
I
is
think it might be-
uncomfortable.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Welcome to the Tying People Up Club. Population Notion.
No. I'm out.
Yeah.
it's too late.
So
It's too late. It's like Hermit challenges. You can't escape.
Watch
So-
me. Archon, get anything interesting in the mail recently?
No, you guys
No.
all saw
Actually-
Derpy deliver the letter to him. So you're
Yeah,
aware he
she
has the
walked
letter.
into the
letter.
house and handed me the letter.
Okay, so Archon, what did the letter say? Was
It's
that
from
your
Her Majesty the
girlfriend?
Princess. It's from Her Majesty the Princess.
Oh.
Girlfriend.
Are you pen pals or something?
Pen pals, gosh.
What did it say?
Greetings, Archon. I hope this finds you well. I'm writing to you to ask for a favor. You and your new friend's good deeds have recently been brought to my attention by my close friend Applejack. Recently, Canterlot has come under attack from a group calling themselves the Heralds of the Sleeping Sun. We have been unable to ascertain the reasons for the attacks or what this group is planning. I fear that whatever it is, it does not bode well for Equestria. We have been able to discover the location of one of the group's bases in the Everfree Forest. If you choose to accept this mission, I would like for you to attempt to infiltrate their base and find out what they are doing. This mission is by no means a safe or easy mission. I would understand if you do not wish to accept. I would send the guard to investigate, but we are unable to spare the extra hooves for the mission. If you choose to accept, speak with Starlight at my old castle. She will be able to provide you with tools and a map for the mission. Sincerely yours, Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Okay, can I just say something real quick?
Oh, I thought you meant Celestia.
Celestia.
No, this is during the time skip, remember?
She's writing to me from beyond the world of Equestria.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
so-
By the way,
Can I-
something's going on back there. You should take care of it.
Can I just say something? Why is it as soon as someone takes over the nation, they just get the useless princess syndrome?
Because they
It's
have
a
to deal
royal
with
tradition.
all of the weird, like, political issues. They no longer have.
It's a royal tradition. You have to do exactly nothing all the time.
Question: why was that addressed to Archon? We're
Archon is a
all-
member of the Royal Guard.
They banging.
What?
Excuse me, I am a royal guard of
Arcana-
Equestria.
Archon and Twilight sitting in a tree.
So wait, I'm sorry. Their explanation is they can't send guards because they don't have enough guards, so instead they're sending a guard. What?
Archon had
You know,
already
that is a good point.
disappeared
Are you
out
a
of the.
Hired guard?
Yeah, I'm basically a wild card at this point. I got
A
a
wild
secret, a
So
secret
a
asset or
wild guard.
something. A wild guard. A wild guard appeared.
There you go. Okay. So, of course we're gonna do this, right? This is what the dark figure was talking about. The
I
mission
mean-
we have.
I'm
mean,
honor
what-
bound to do it, so I would be doing it anyway.
So- What's the reward for us?
Having saved Equestria, man. That's in a word all
It
of
says
itself.
yes. You all
We
get
get slaves. Yes! Let's do it! Let's
It
do
says
it!
you- Yeah,
Twilight,
but-
Rye,
yeah,
roll
I forgot to
deception.
I forgot to read the extra note there. No.
Let's do it. I want a slave. Let's do it.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, she's-
Don't. We'll just let him think it.
Well,
Yes.
know,
P.S.
Twilight
For your
used that phrase, "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth," which implies the existence of gift horses in the world, which implies the existence of slavery.
It also implies the present. It also implies the existence of future and past horses.
That's true.
So
I mean, the saddle Arabians were shown to be actual horses, so.
can I object to the saddle Arabians? Like, do I have that birthright? Can I object to that?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm slightly
What?
confused on what you're asking.
Oh, the joke is that I'm Arabic.
Ah,
Yeah.
see.
We've never seen you, so we
Oh.
have no idea.
Oh,
Saddle of Rabican.
They appeared in that one episode, and we haven't heard anything from them since. And the show's over, so rest in peace.
Well, the season 10 comic might actually go over it, so who knows. Now,
Yeah, along with Zebrica.
Yeah, I'm iffy about
Zafrica?
the comics and how canon.
Ethiopia.
They're gonna be so. From what they're saying, the season 10 comics are gonna be as canon as what the prior like show seasons were.
Cool. That's gotta be some interesting things to
So,
I'm
about.
gonna read.
what do?
We're going.
Let's head to the castle. Let's fly to the castle.
So everybody's
Seen
headed to the
that.
castle now.
Shoo-be-doo,
You guys have seen that video, right?
What?
Let's fly to the castle.
Nope.
Let's fly to the castle.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm sending it in chat.
Okay, this
I-
is
Alright,
heaven
well, we're
So-
going.
and I
So,
feel very left out.
So you guys, when you get to the castle, first thing you notice is that the school is just empty. You can't see any signs of life over there.
Let's burn it.
Well, no,
already?
I mean, we can't have school during the pandemic. They've probably gone online.
Oh,
So we're
That's what
inside the
they're
castle or the
Is it
castle?
a weekend or?
that's what they're guarding. They're guarding against the virus.
It is the middle of the week for you guys right now.
Okay, that's kind of weird. All right, so I guess we should head to
Yeah,
Starlight's office, or we should.
Yeah, I guess
I
we
don't know
just
where that
go
is, so I should
inside.
just yell out.
She did say the castle, not the school. I was just pointing out
Yeah.
that the school is empty.
Oh,
Yep, we're
okay.
going
So-
inside the castle.
So
Gotcha.
where are you going to look first?
We're
In
going
her
to
bedroom.
No.
Without
Why don't we
knocking.
start in the map room?
Yeah, the map room.
Why don't we just stand in a hallway and yell?
I like
That's
the I
another
like the bed.
viable idea, but
Wait, no,
You know,
no. Let's
filterize it. I
let's
vote for
check-
yell. Let's yell.
That way
Wait.
we don't intrude on anything or find
wait.
anything
Let's
outside
check the
of our
bathroom.
mission.
Let's check the bathroom first.
Zebra, no.
We're gonna yell. I have
I
decided we are. Yell.
suggest we check the princess's shoe drawer.
Okay, talk to yell.
I roll to invest.
I mean, it's not like
roll
she's-
to invest the private wardrobe.
It's
Oh,
it's
God.
not like she's naked or anything.
I mean,
She's a pony. Of course she's naked.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it'll
We
be
are
no
all
different as
naked.
normal. So
So
We all have fur. It's okay.
are you guys all going to start yelling and screaming?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
At
look
least
for
I
the.
do. No one else can stop me.
Yeah, I'm
so I
gonna.
start-
Yep,
Yeah, I'm gonna go
also
for the
yelling.
map room. I think.
I'm gonna go look in the bathroom. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes me so uncomfortable.
So-
I'm kidding.
No, we're not.
I'm kidding. I'm
I-
kidding.
So Archon has actually been here before and is aware of where things are. And
Ooh, lead me to the bathroom, good sir. I'm
It's back
sorry.
the way
I
we
couldn't.
came, outside.
somebody tie Ballistic up and leave him outside. I think he may be a danger to
Hey.
himself right now.
Offering to the
What?
I'm gonna
princess.
knock ballistic
What?
on cotton.
Wait, no.
Let's offer.
No,
I
we
used
can
my
be a
action
member
surge
of
on
the
ballistic
Tying
knock.
People Up Club.
No,
No, I was kidding.
no,
I was
hear
kidding.
me
I
out.
was kidding.
Hear me out. We offer ballistic as the slave. See, it's
I was
perfect.
kidding. No, I was kidding.
So
I was
we're
kidding.
offering
I
ballistic
was
as a
kidding. No,
sacrifice to
no, no, no,
summon-
no, 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 no,
Ballistic,
no.
Ballistic is currently having a panic attack.
He likes slavery so much, you might as well make him
I
a
don't.
slave.
No. I want a slave.
Hey!
I want a slave. There's a difference.
There's balance in the universe.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
so where were we?
you guys were headed to the
Just the
map
yellow-
room. I'm assuming everybody
Right,
is
so we're-
following the one with the knowledge of the castle.
Yes, thank you.
I think they're
Yeah.
yelling all the way there.
So when you guys
It's
get
just
to
like I accidentally go the wrong way.
We require assistance.
when you guys get to the map
I'm in
room,
need of your-
Yep.
you see that the map is kind of on the fritz at the moment. Like periodically, you'll see different cutie marks appear for a moment and disappear, and the
Do we have any?
landscape
Do
is
we have
kind of
any
glitching out.
unicorn?
What's that?
Do we have any unicorns?
Nobody is actually actively in the room at the moment.
The doors are open or slightly cracked.
I'm gonna investigate the map, get a closer look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, just make
Can
sure
I
there are no
just try
diamond dogs
casting
in there.
venting on it and seeing what happens?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Don't break it, please. Don't break it.
I'm literally
Alright,
doing
so we're
the
going
inverse of
inside.
that.
Okay. Wait, where'd you guys say where you're going? Somebody started messaging me during the middle of that.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think Notion wanted to investigate the map, so I guess we're going inside.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
go with Notion to
you
investigate.
can
and
roll Arcana to see if you can figure out what's going on.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll Arcana and then also just cast Mending on it for good measure.
22.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, no, 23.
So 23, and so from what you can tell from your mildly magical background,
Oh,
You,
it was
uh,
a crit.
oh, it was a
It
crit.
was a crit? Oh, it's a nat 20.
A natural 20.
So,
Oh, dang.
from all of your magical knowledge that you've managed to glean from various wizards and whatnot, you realize that you have no idea how this thing even works. You do know something is interfering with how it works, but you're not entirely sure exactly what.
Some kind of spell.
I'm gonna cast Mending.
Okay.
Ballistic, no.
No.
If it's
What did Ballistic do?
what did he do this time?
That's
Oh
not
God,
kosher.
ballistic. That's
Sorry.
not nice.
That is illegal.
Ballistic, can we please use our palace manners?
Alright, no,
I'm sorry,
I'm
after
gonna
all
need
that, I
you
just
to
had to
make
make
me
the
a
joke.
mod so I can drop the banhammer real quick.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll stop.
So something
That just came out of nowhere.
interfering with the map, which the map is connected to the Tree of Harmony, which is sort of aware of the balance of magic in Equestria. So there's something.
Yeah, but the tree's
threatening-
gone.
Oh,
Sort of.
well. Well, not really. The tree house, the spirit of the Tree of Harmony. It's all still a thing,
No, I'm
That's
pretty
true,
sure I
yeah.
saw
The
it
original
explode.
tree is broken and all of the elements are broken, but there's still a treehouse for some reason.
There's the spirit of the Tree of Harmony survived.
Hasbro will
Yeah,
never
fucking
do
Transformers
anything with
guys.
it, but the treehouse still exists.
That's not true. They're
The
still
tree's
selling
gone.
it.
Harmony is gone.
They
But the
never
treehouse
actually made a
remains.
set for
Why?
it.
Because fuck you. That's why.
Yet is the key word. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. So I guess we should keep looking for Starlight because we didn't really learn anything we didn't already know here.
True.
I guess let's do our yelling plan now.
Let's do the yelling plan.
Sawtooth yells for Starlight at the top of his lungs.
I do the same.
Can't you transform into something that has like a really loud voice?
I don't know.
Transforms
I don't know.
Like a
Luna.
gym coach or my dad.
Transforms into season 1 Luna.
Oh
Oh
God.
yeah, I use my Royal Canterlot voice.
Princess Sawtooth has made his return.
Alicorn
I'm the
Princess.
princess of the night, so of course they. Sorry.
So you make a very loud noise.
Yes, I do.
Specifically yelling, we require assistance in my case.
I'll use my feminine wild.
Use my feminine wiles to attract
My
help.
feminine wild. We need a meme about that one.
I made that already.
So
That's
whose
not-
voice are you using before you do this?
Royal Canterlot voice. Starlight, we need your assistance.
Royal Canterlot as in one of the actual princesses, or Royal Canterlot as in random Sawtooth Royal Canterlot?
How about we just do Yoshi's voice but louder?
Random Sawtooth.
Because they're the person who
Okay,
are-
so Sawtooth with his Royal Canterlot voice shouts out Starlight's name, and there is a loud thump as the doors to the nearby library are blown open and various pages get blown out.
Let's go towards that noise.
I should probably go in first.
Okay, yeah. Yoshi leads the way.
As the one with the most health and the one who knows his way around here, I should probably go.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so I'm
You should
going in
be
the
charge
library.
here.
So you get into the library, and the first thing you see is there's a big scorch mark in the middle of the floor.
Is
And
that good?
on either side of the
That's not good.
room, respectively, is Trixie and Starlight, both looking very dazed.
Ah,
That's a good sign.
I am going to say that the scorch mark is centered around a very black and very broken looking table.
Oh.
oh dear.
What happened here? I inquire.
Can
Starlight shakes her head and says, I was trying to make something, but somebody decided to interrupt.
can we investigate and look for blood splatter in case that was some pony?
I feign ignorance.
I'm gonna assume they were cooking and they got distracted by some good conversation from a newcomer and then burnt it.
I am going to say, Ballistic, that there is no evidence that there was any living thing that exploded. You do see the remains of what might have been a chemistry kit set, though.
Okay,
That makes sense.
just making sure. You can never know.
Speaking of
I asked
chemistry
them where
sets,
everyone
did you take a look at your zebra sheet?
Yeah, I can make potions and stuff.
Yes, you have to tell me beforehand what you make.
Yeah.
Are you going to make some?
If you don't, it would be a mistake.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine right now. I want to make a
You
potion
got?
right now.
Okay. So, oh, excuse me.
No thanks, I would not like resources.
What do
Wait,
you,
what?
What do you
There's nothing
guys?
about resources here.
You could make some useful things.
You
There's
will-
a potion of healing and a potion of speed, a potion of seeing, a potion of strength, and a potion of defense.
You're right,
None of
that all
that's
sounds
really
I don't know why-
useless.
I don't know why you wouldn't make a potion of healing. Just in case. You never know.
So, kind of like in Pokemon.
You also have
Oh, I thought you had to use them at that moment.
no. You make them and you hold on to them until you need them.
I
Oh.
think he zoned out at the word useful, just couldn't complete.
Hey, I just didn't. It
Ballistic.
didn't say that we could. It didn't say here that.
It's a potion.
Like-
What do you do with potions
Ballistic.
to use them? You drink
I
them
know.
out of
I
a
didn't
bottle.
know that. I didn't know you could save them though. I thought you had to use them immediately.
Okay, let's give him
Ballistic.
the benefit of the doubt, because we
Ballistic.exe has stopped working.
Hey. Okay, can I make a healing potion?
So we're gonna wait till you get outside because they do have a point. There is not much in the way of resources inside the building.
Okay.
The way you make potions is you find bits and pieces of things that will make your potion depending on your role.
Okay.
So, what are you guys gonna do now?
Right.
I tell
So-
Starlight that we're here on Princess Twilight Sparkle's business to get our mission. Details. English. I can't.
Looking slightly confused, she asks, "So which one of you is Archon?"
I'm Archon.
Why does Archon get all?
Can I see the letter?
Yes, I have the letter. And I hand her the letter.
She takes the letter and looks over it. It's like, this looks real. And walks over to a sack that is sitting nearby and hauls it over to you guys. Inside, there is a map of the Everfree with X marked somewhere off to the south of it. I think it's south. It's been a little while since I looked at the map. But there's an X marked where they think that the base is. There's 50 feet of rope. There's a number of torches, a thieves' kit, and a few other items that you can't quite identify. Like there's a helmet, there's a couple rings, pony-sized rings, and a necklace.
Rings for
A
like
helmet?
unicorn horns?
Yes, a helmet.
Okay. Alright. Do you have any details you should know about our mission?
She kind of shrugs and says, you know about as much as I do, other than the fact that they've been trying to assassinate people in Canterlot. And
That's serious.
right
No,
now
we
they
didn't know that.
right now they have Canterlot on lockdown I can't even get a
Oh.
letter in, let alone person.
That's why. Okay,
Mm,
that's why everything's empty.
yeah, then we need to take care of this immediately.
Twilight sent me a message to send everyone home from school, just in case they tried to
Mhm.
attack here.
Mm,
Okay, better safe than sorry.
Well, we should go then if we want to take care of it, so that it's not so dangerous.
She
What
wishes
was that?
you. She wishes you good luck and goes to help Trixie up, who is still rather dazed from the explosion.
Okay. I guess let's head to wherever this map tells us to go.
It's a good
All right,
plan.
so who's gonna hold the map? I guess I should just carry the whole bag on my own.
Yeah,
Whoever's the
you're
strongest.
the strong one. Yeah, that'd be Yosh. I mean, Archon.
Right.
Archon the Wise. I just made
Wise I am not. Archon the Strong.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure his thing is strong.
Strong.
Yeah, I don't.
Stronks.
Big Strong.
So, when you guys
I
get
use the
outside,
Strong to make the bulk.
Well,
when you guys get outside, Ballistic, now's your chance to roll nature to gather the supplies for your potion.
Okay. So just go to supplies, and nature is intelligence. So that's roll 20, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got 22.
Okay, so you have enough to make both the potions that you can for today.
I'll just make one for now.
No. You make potions. You make the maximum amount of potions, okay?
You know, it's better to have too many than too little.
Okay, so can I choose the healing potion and the defense potion?
Yes, so you're going to roll a medicine and an arcana check. The arcana is for the magical part, and the medicine is for the potion part. So,
Okay, so for the medicine, I got 22 again,
okay.
and for Arcana, I got 22 again. So 3 22s in a row.
Okay. You have successfully made a potion. The descriptions are on the page that I sent you. For anybody listening in, it's the healing potion heals 3d4 plus 3, and the defense potion adds plus 4 to AC for 1 minute.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
I'm not sure who has the AC, but it should either go to them or it should maybe go to. But we'll decide that later.
Yeah, we'll
I
see who
mean,
needs
at
it.
the moment we only have one Kieran, and that would be fair, and he's not here. Darth
Yeah.
hasn't made a character, and he wanted a Kieran as well. Both of those start out at 19. Notions is a 17.
Yep.
I don't know the rest of y'all's because it varies.
Yeah,
There's-
I've got 18.
So yours is currently the highest.
You're right
Yep.
there?
Yeah,
There's the
good.
main tank. Alright, so let's go into the fort.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm pulling out the map and we're going.
Okay.
Map time, map time. I love maps.
how does that Dora song go? Oh, I'm the map.
Dora, Dora.
I'm the map, I'm the map,
Yeah,
I'm the map,
yeah.
I'm the map.
I'm the map.
And this is-
I'm the map.
Y'all should start a band.
Oh
I'm
god,
waiting for
please
the
don't.
Netflix app. I'm waiting for the Netflix adaptation of that song.
Please
Oh,
do not encourage this.
Our little band of strangers needs a band arc. It has to happen.
Oh god.
Reminds me of the
Can we
story
do
of
it like they did the one for Pinkie Pie?
What do you mean?
You don't remember Pinkie joined a band when she was on her way to Yakakistan?
Oh, right.
I don't remember that.
The Beatles. Or would it be the Scarabs?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so you guys, you get into the forest and get through it with relative ease. Thanks to the map, you don't get lost and you're not just kind of mindlessly wandering. It takes
Very
you roughly about half an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in that timeline. You couldn't really tell to get to where you were going. When you get there, the first thing you notice is there is in fact a camp of some sort here. Currently, you are too far away to see much into it, and they won't be able to see you from here. What do you do?
Well,
We could
So-
infiltrate them. Like gather information. What's our goal here? To gather information?
Yeah, our goal was to infiltrate the base and find out what they're doing. It's probably the smartest thing to do.
I vote we go in and kill them all and then come out with the information we need.
no.
That should really be a backup.
I should remind you at this point that you did have somebody cast Meteor on you last session.
That's
Wait,
true.
cast
Not to
meteor
mention
on me.
Fireball.
In case you missed that, that is the highest level spell.
That's one of the
Yeah,
highest
we're
level
not-
spells.
we're
It's
not
not the
gonna
best
fight these
spell, but it's
guys.
one of the highest one.
The point is, the people we're messing with are far more powerful than us, and we cannot beat them with brute force.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we should definitely
There's
save
also
fighting
enough tents
for
to
a
tell
last
you.
resort.
There are also enough tents to tell you from here that you are by far outnumbered.
So,
Mhm.
do we have access to bombs?
Oh, wait a sec.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Mhm.
Can I transform into a rock?
Wait.
Yes. You have
What
the
if?
you have the polymorph ability now. So
Okay.
yes, you can transform into a rock.
Can you
That's
transform into complex objects? Because
Transform
what if
into what?
if you transform into complex objects, we can turn you into a supply that we drop off, like a tent
So-
that's rolled up.
So I have an idea of how to get into the base, and no, it doesn't involve any killing.
Okay, what's your
Alright.
idea?
So I have a spell called Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
We don't want to
And-
pass them. We want to
Read
So,
the
wait.
spell.
So, a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for the duration. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a 10+ bonus to dexterity, stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
What's the duration of the spell?
An hour.
Up to an hour of concentration.
Okay. The issue is, I feel like we could still be discovered through magical tricks, but that is a really good option. As I think, whatever we go with, we should lay that on top as a plan A.
I have a level 2 spell called Detect Thoughts, and for the duration, you can read the thoughts of pretty much any creature, like what's directly on their mind. Yeah,
Surface
to
level
be within
thoughts.
30.
So if they're thinking, man, I wonder what's for lunch today, that's what you will get, unless you try and dig deeper. And if you fail trying to dig deeper, they will know what you were doing.
They know anyways, actually.
What do you mean, dig deeper?
You can
Oh, I
choose to go again, but
But it
if
take
you
away-
do that, they know that you're trying.
And I don't have great wisdom, so that wouldn't be very smart for me.
Plus, you're giving yourself away if you do that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not
Um,
gonna work.
We can do the not the detect thoughts if we get you inside somehow. So
It's
that's a
normally
possibility.
best done as a type of interrogation,
True.
as a more of a last resort, though, because most people clam up afterwards.
hmm
This is
All right.
speaking from experience of doing so on a prisoner.
Okay, I guess the best plan is for the half of us that can disguise self and or morph. We go in pretending to be cult members and chat up with them until we get the information.
So how many of us can transform into
I think if we're already splitting the party, the best option for now might be for you to transform into like a mosquito. Just fly in and listen for as long as you can.
I like that. I like that. Can I do that?
Can you do what?
Can
I
turn
heard
into a
mosquito, so I'm assuming you're wanting to turn into one.
Yes, it's my lifelong dream. Actually, if I can be any insect,
No.
Just make sure it's within the bounds of the polymorph spell.
Oh, don't be a mosquito actually, because someone might like.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Be something that people wouldn't
Swat.
like try and swat.
But don't be something that's suspicious. Be a geometric moth.
a moth. Okay,
No,
moth.
No, be a butterfly. Be a butterfly.
No,
People won't try and
geometric
smack
moth.
it.
They blend in everywhere. They're in basically every room. No one really cares. They're those really tiny triangle moths you see.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, I'm going to be a moth, the color of the tent cloth.
Okay. The tent cloth is a very unnatural crimson, by the way.
I'm a very unnaturally crimson moth.
I also feel like most bugs in this world are not like. I feel like
Natural.
it's not an issue that things that appear in nature are not vibrant here. Like every bug we've seen has been like neon purple.
I will give you
That's
that
okay.
one. That is
I'm
not
sure
entirely.
Well,
they won't.
well,
mind.
I know how. So I know how to make Notion crimson red without him having to use magic.
No.
No.
What? What? What were you thinking? I was just talking about getting strawberry juice.
That would make you
No.
crimson. That would just make you tasty.
No.
Which is an unnecessary skill.
I would also make it hard for him to fly.
That'd also literally kill me if you
Alright, I'm
did
going
that. I'm so allergic to strawberries.
Wait,
Oh.
do all the tents look the same? I'd like to see if there's like a bigger tent, maybe one that stands out in some way.
So, instead of a larger tent, I'm assuming you're kind of trying to get a better vantage point at this point.
I think he's trying to find the most important tent where all the most important people are.
So, are you just
Indeed.
standing where you are and doing so?
I'll
I'm
go fly up into a
flying
tree.
towards the tents and trying to pick the ones that I should.
Wait, I might want to cast a spell on you first. Let me
What
just
spell?
read up on it.
Oh, okay. But what can I observe in the meantime?
From where you are standing, from where you guys walked up, there's just a row of tents.
Okay. Well,
Is
guess-
this like a trail or like a street almost with
I'll just
in
fly
the
to the
trees?
closer one. Just less work for me.
Oh, you flew up in the trees, Yoshi?
Yeah.
So
Not
from what
sure
you
how
can
useful-
see, you can go ahead and roll perception, try and get a better look.
All right.
There's from just a casual glance, there are quite a few tents.
Yep. I'm gonna roll a perception.
Okay.
Ah, crap! I got a 7.
Yes, you have noticed there are in fact more tents.
Oof.
I'm
Okay,
also
so
gonna go
I've
in
gathered
with
that there are
perception.
several tents, people.
Can I roll perception? Can I roll perception?
Are you up
just
in a
rolled
tree?
D20 down a flight of stairs.
It's not a nat 20.
Can I roll a perception?
Are you in the trees? Or are you just standing on the ground rolling a perception?
Standing on
I
the
can
ground.
carry you into the trees if you'd like.
Well, yes, that would roll better.
I'm gonna turn myself into a moth, fly above the tent, fly above the area, use a perception check. I rolled 18. But let me add my stuff to it.
When
As
did
a
you
changeling?
get the ability to change into a moth?
I have Mask of Many Faces. It doesn't change my physical dimensions, but it makes me look like that. And since I'm not touching anything, it works.
So you're a
Good
giant.
So
lord,
you are
you
the
are a
largest
gargantuan
in
moth.
existence.
No.
That's
Any
very
part of
suspicious.
yourself
Wait,
that-
no. So her body is invisible except
Yeah,
for the tiny part
everything
that
that isn't part of the mass of the moth would be invisible. So if someone touches me, they feel me as that invisible
So you're basically
face.
painted the color of the background, except for this moth.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
find
Cool.
this both
like an
amusing and slightly
invisibility cloak.
horrifying.
I want to make a really bad reference here. As a changeling, could I turn myself into a?
Oh no.
Sorry, what?
Into a what?
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Wait, what?
Say that again.
That's the funniest
I'm
shit.
confused.
Guys, he's gonna turn himself into a pickle.
Oh god damn it!
Pickle. It's the funniest shit I've ever
I'm so confused.
I was surprised to see that meme come back after 3 years.
I'm so confused.
Have you never heard of Pickle Rick?
Heroes
No, I
never
haven't.
die. So,
What? How did you not-
What rock have you been living under, Ballistic?
I'm 14.
14.
Oh, nice GIF. Oh, Pinky joined the Beatles. What?
No, the scarabs.
Same difference, man. Oh, that's
Okay.
amazing.
I love the freaking
You
Abington
never-
Road reference they had in there. That was good.
Ballistic. You're
Yeah.
14, right? Between
Huh?
the two of us, we can name every member of the Beatles. Let's go. Ringo Starr.
Elton John.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Okay, we got them. We got them on.
John Lennon.
Yeah,
Okay,
Elton
That's
John.
what I was thinking. That's
Starr
what
Okay,
I was
so-
thinking
and
of.
Elton John. We got
So
them.
who's doing what now?
There's more.
Alright.
There's 4.
No, we got them.
Yeah, we got them. We got them all. We got them all.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ryan, did you do the perception check?
Oh, shit, no.
Did you get an 18?
Paul
Did you get an
McCartney.
18?
Wow, I actually knew that.
George Adams.
So, yeah, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's a 22.
So many
So-
22s today.
You notice that for the most part, the camp is generally circle shaped, and it seems to be centered around a fairly large, what looks like from this distance, just a rock.
So is it a cult of tents?
Okay, I have a spell that's meant for combat purposes, but I think it might be helpful here.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so it's
Ah.
basically Sanctuary, and you choose one person within 30 feet of you, and if any spell is used against them, they have to make the person, like, attacking spell is used against them, the person sending it has to make a wisdom throw, and if they lose it, the spell doesn't work, or they have to choose another target.
Okay.
It doesn't
So-
work against area of effect spell, and we know at least some of them can do. And
Well,
meteor.
I was just thinking it might be like just a good extra barrier in case like one of them spots Notion and just blasts him.
It
In that
could.
case, I would like to, instead of going to a tent, I think we should investigate the okay, yeah, the safe passage that Ballistic mentioned. We can use that to get to the center of the tents.
Yeah.
And
The
investigate-
pass without trace.
pass without
Yeah.
trace.
Also, while you guys are doing this, Ryan notices something very large moving among the tents. To describe it,
Thank
it
you.
looks like a fairly decent-sized rock decided to get up and start walking around at some point.
Oh.
Wait,
Is that the
excuse me?
rock in the center? Or is this a different rock?
This is a different rock. It just now
Oh
popped up.
boy.
So is this
Oh, no.
Pinky in her disguise again? Or is it Rarity in Twilight in a disguise?
I mean, I guess you could say it's Tom.
Oh man.
This is probably like a changeling getting cocky.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It could be it could be someone on our side investigating. Who knows?
I mean-
Just being a terrible.
I
job.
mean, does it look like this rock by chance?
No, the tents are about roughly 10 foot tall, and it stands a good 3 or 4 feet taller than them.
I'm sorry. How
Okay.
many feet are the tents? Tent? Is that what you said?
The tents are about 10 foot tall.
So they're about tent height or 10 feet tall.
Yes.
What?
I guess you could say those cult members are pretty
Don't.
intense.
Oh my gosh.
Why did I see that one coming from a mile away?
Because you have
No.
eyes.
So that's actually not as bad as the pun that I had on like something that came from a package today, and it was something from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it was encouragement.
Oh, like mints, like the candies.
That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Oh, God.
Nice. That's positive. That's wholesome.
Oh my god, this is
That's
a
very
side note,
wholesome.
but it's Mr. Rogers adjacent, which is my history teacher is like super mad and angry all the time. And then one day we walked in and he was watching Mr. Rogers and he was just calm and peaceful for the rest of the day. And he's like, this man is an American hero. And
That's hilarious.
There it is.
Aw.
Who the heck is that king guy in the background?
I have no clue.
Aw, that's
King
Whose
Harold.
man's just
That's
I
King
like
Harold.
that.
He's here to help.
all right.
Yay.
So we're going in to investigate this rock. I should probably stay behind because I have heavy armor, and therefore I have disadvantage on stealth check.
Okay. So you
Even with the 10, the plus 10, it's a little dicey. No pun intended. I really shouldn't go.
What if you dress as a rock?
I can like stick at the edge camp.
Okay, what was in the what did Starlight give us? There's a thieving kit. There was 50 feet
Yeah.
of
There's some thieves' tools, a rope, a helmet. Let's see. There was some sundry items I recognize. I am interested in what this helmet does, though.
I can't think of any action that's better than just sending a moth in to listen.
There was also 2 rings and then a necklace.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Hmm.
I guess I should fly in then. All right. I guess that's what we're doing. I'm flying into one of the tents to listen to what any of the guards have to say.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
So I guess I fly towards the tents and listen for speaking, and I move towards the tents where I hear speaking.
Okay. So as you get closer, you start hearing quietly whispered voices. They seem like they're trying to like hide. And go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay.
They
That's
should
a dexterity
definitely get
check.
advantage.
Let's see, stealth.
Advantage is a moth, probably, yeah.
And it's dexterity, so that's +4, 17.
Okay.
17, so.
Let's see. As you get closer, you see a pair of cultists, and they've got what looks like stolen rations. You can tell that they're trying to hide the fact that they're over here eating.
What a bunch
No
of nerds.
food on the side of evil.
Bunch of nerds.
They're evil within evil.
You can hear that they're talking about how the cult leader's been hiding in that cave and how he's been limiting the rations, and he's got to be
Cave.
hiding them all in there or something.
Okay, okay.
What a
That's
dick.
important.
So
So that's
okay,
what that
so I have
rock
leverage
is.
over these ponies. Like I could morph if I wanted to. I could morph into one of them and then just totally catch them in the act.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I thought you were gonna say like morph into food to lure them.
Aww.
Oh,
Like
man.
transform into cake. Just transform into cake.
Just start bouncing out of the camp.
Form
It's
into
like,
an
I'm outta
egg
here.
and then stab them.
No, I think I'm more useful outside of the cult.
No,
Rather
notion. With the turning into an egg, that's literally the opposite Macbeth. What, you egg? The egg stabs him.
That's why I said it.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So that was some good information.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
should-
think, Bryce? Should I call them out for their hoarding of rations?
Yeah. Okay, so look around the camp to see someone who looks like a higher ranking member and I guess so you're like fuck intimidate
Intimidation,
no the other one imitating
imitation.
someone who actually exists and is
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I don't know if I want to do that though. I can just be one of the low-level default NPC members, so that they don't really question question me too much.
Right, but if you get in their way and there's two of them and one of you and you're the same level of authority.
Okay, so what I want to do is find the guy in charge and demorph in front of him into not in front of him, but you know what I mean. Tell. Okay.
What you were just suggesting was the equivalent of running up to the big bad and taking her pants off.
No. Okay. I go up to I torch one of the low level guards. Go up to the big bad, the higher, and say the people in that tent are hoarding rations, and that at least gives me a foot in the door, a way to introduce myself and just become part of the crowd without saying, "Hey, nice weather we're having here. What's our plan again?" You know, this gets me part of the social group.
I want to
This-
point
this
out
is
a certain flaw in this plan. You're assuming there is only one in charge person, by the sounds of
Yeah.
this.
Okay, well, it's fine if there's more than, you know. I just gotta act cool around.
I
So
feel like this is all gonna go horribly wrong.
Act cool as
Yep.
in take your.
It's probably just a better idea to stay what you are and keep looking around.
okay, all right. So I guess
So you have two
I mean, the
options.
biggest flaw I see in his plan right now is he is trying to turn into one of the randos to go poke the head honcho and be like, "Hey, they got food." Does
I
that
also
really
like
sound
the
like something
idea-
that you would take to the head honcho?
No.
Yeah, that's true.
I also really like the idea of morphing into someone no one's ever seen before and then immediately going to the one person who knows everyone.
okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, fair enough.
Hey,
Okay, so
Ryan.
why don't I just address these guys? Because I don't think they're gonna keep talking. I think I need to.
Just fly around and listen for stuff.
I mean, if you are wanting to continue with the leader thing, you have literally seen two obviously high-ranking individuals, and even heard one casting a spell.
Okay,
True.
I am going to keep flying. I'm going to try to, like, very, very, like, far above the camp, but just try to follow Notion around from above in case something goes wrong I can heal.
Okay.
Hey, Ryan, I have an idea.
How far
Yeah.
above the camp are you?
So,
Let's say 20 feet.
And your thing is a magical item, or is it a magical ability? What is it?
It's an Eldritch Invocation.
Okay. As you get
Is he
within
really
20
in this
feet,
today?
roll a Constitution throw, saving throw.
Oh dear,
Ooh.
that's not good.
Do they have anti-deer defense?
Oh dear.
Against the air.
I mean,
No
I
other
was already
speed.
above the camp. Did that not come into play before?
This is as you're getting closer to the camp.
Oh boy,
Let me know which the
that's not
roll
good.
is.
Okay. And then let me see my I forgot what my modifier. Okay, so that's gonna be a. Sorry, that's
Okay,
gonna be
nameless.
21.
Nice.
It's a what?
21.
Don't you dare just spontaneous.
So, before I do this, what did you want, Ballistic?
so I just want to ask real quick. What's the rate? Can we tell like what the ratio is to male to female?
You can tell
Oh,
the
no.
ratio of cloaks to cloaks.
Like, are Notion and Rai able to, just like from being close to them and hearing?
I don't
think
know.
I
He's
have
not
a
looking
Yeah,
up
you're
anybody's
putting
cloak
up
right
big
now, so I couldn't tell
energy. I
you.
can feel it.
I have a something's wrong. I could. Yeah, I think I know where this is going.
What do you mean?
All right, so let's keep moving on.
So, Rai, as you get close, you feel something akin to like a heavy weight just kind of drop on you.
Ooh.
It's not enough to
Oh.
knock you out of the air or anything or impede your movement, but you notice all at once you are suddenly not a moth.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to fly away at full speed. And also, I'm assuming they have a barrier around the camp.
No, you didn't feel like you hit anything. You feel like something was like almost like you could describe it like a lead blanket was dropped on top of you.
So,
Yeah,
like,
so
they
it's
have
less of a
security.
barrier. Yeah, it's less of a barrier and more of a magic spell layering around the camp.
Kind of
That's
like how
cool.
magic, like the Changeling Throne, anything within the radius of the Changeling Throne, just all the magic stops working.
Hmm.
Huh.
You
Yeah.
do notice that once
I'm
you
gonna
leave
fly
the
directly upwards until it stops being an issue.
But my disguise is still working, so it's not quite that. What was that name?
so Rye notices that as she gets higher, she gets to about 200 feet over the camp, and it finally her ability kicks back in.
Oh,
Oh boy, 200 feet? Gee, these guys are overkill.
Why can I be a moth?
It could be the changeling. Exactly changeling.
So the way
But
that the
then why?
changeling ability works is it doesn't quite count as magic as, say, a cast spell or a class feature spell-like ability.
Well, mine's
Wait.
nice.
So the rock.
Yours
What
is a
if the rock in the
magical
center
gift given
is
to you by your patron, is
Yeah.
how it works. His is an inborn ability.
Biological feat.
That's why you didn't
What
drop
if-
from the sky whenever you hit the area, too.
Because I can fly.
Yes.
What if in the very center there they took a piece of Chrysalis's throne as a defense? That's what the rock is in the center.
The rock is alive.
One of
No,
the rocks,
there's a second rock that is moving around the camp.
The non-moving one could be a chunk of Chrysalis's.
That would suck.
I think that's what it is. Because 200 feet, that's a pretty wide radius, and it did have a pretty wide radius. So
They would
Alright.
need probably
Can I,
the same
can I
amount.
fly to
rock.
a different tent to Can I look for the higher ranking unicorn's tent and then see what's going on in there?
I
So-
think the high-ranking unicorn tends the cave.
Huh? What was that, Yoshi?
You can go ahead and roll investigation. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
Okay.
And see if you can find a different, higher ranking individual.
Okay. Investigation, which is 1 intelligence. That's gonna be +2. It's 16.
So as you're flying around, you spot another appears to be a unicorn by the way the hood is steepled, and he's wearing a bit more jewelry, and his cloak looks a bit fancier than everybody else's around him. So you can reasonably assume he is in charge of something.
is it Cabaleron or something?
Is Cabaleron a unicorn?
Caballero.
He's a Pegasus.
Caballero.
So I
Actually,
fly
he's
closer.
an earth pony. Last I checked.
Oh, is he?
He is, yeah.
I imagine wings on him. Oh well.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I fly to the higher ranking pony. Oh, you're right. He's an earth pony. Look at that. Earth pony solidarity. Woo!
You're
So-
not a pony. You're not even a pony.
Okay, whatever. Right now, I'm not even. I'm a moth.
I thought you hated Earth ponies, right?
No, I was
Character
jealous
development.
of them.
So,
You missed the character development there.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Notion, what'd you say you were doing?
I fly over into their tent and listen in.
So at the moment, he seems to just be poring over a book. From
I
what you
investigate
can
what-
tell, the book looks like it has gone through hell and back. It is fallen apart. There are holes in pages. The cover is just barely hanging on to the pages. And he seems to be very careful with how he is reading it, but he is having some trouble. And from what you can see of him, you can see a bit of his face, and you can tell that he's not very happy about what he's trying to do.
He's probably also
might-
dyslexic.
We might have to try and get that book
Um,
to see if it holds anything.
Probably words, pages.
oh! This is the perfect time to cast the spell. 'Cause it's his surface thought right now.
Oh,
Right?
right.
Ooh. Is that good reasoning right there?
Yes, you can.
Like the
It
I
is.
fact
will.
he's not feeling gassy or something stupid like that.
Okay, yeah. All right, I cast. I cast detect thoughts. Be gone.
Oh wait, magic doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Well, I
What
can
was
at
the
least
else?
try it.
So
You should try it with like a, I don't know, whatever.
hold on, I
Go
need to
for it.
check something on your spell. Unless you want to tell me what you need for your spell.
Oh, um, it's a pretty long description.
Are you rolling or are they?
Um,
By
If
the way,
it's them, you screwy.
you also have noticed the weight that she felt, but yours feels heavier than hers.
okay, so
Oh.
I'm off on the ground now. I think that's fine.
No, you're still able to fly and all that, but it's not impeding movement, but it feels heavy, to lack of a better description. And you
Like constricting.
Okay, so my magic isn't gonna work.
doesn't necessarily mean that, but
Okay.
Probably means
You
you're gonna
can
have
try
to make
and
strong
roll-
Constitution saves.
you can try and roll Arcana to try and get a better idea of what's going on.
Sure, I'll do that. 12 plus Arcana. It's gonna be 2, and that's intelligence. 15.
Your intelligence is 2. That's unfortunate.
He's a sorcerer. He doesn't need to be intelligent. So, you with your limited knowledge of higher level spells and whatnot, you remember hearing vaguely somewhere by some wizard that there's a spell known as Anti-Magic Field. This one seems a bit larger than it's supposed to be, but you know that it will make all spell casting a good deal harder, and if you, for like the save and suck spells, it will make the probability of an enemy succeeding the saving throw a lot easier.
Why would anyone cast that on their own base?
To protect
keep
against
people from-
outsiders.
Yeah,
Is
magic.
it even worth using the spell slot?
That's up to you, but you will have to cast it
I
at 2
wouldn't
spell slots
use it
higher.
Because, okay, so the chances of it working are slim in the first place,
Okay.
and then also, I feel like you might as well just go up behind him and read over his shoulder.
So wait, nameless. Does the field go underground?
I don't know. Have you checked?
It's probably a radius.
Yeah, I would guess that.
Well, there's no shame in trying, is there?
No.
Whereas if you get discovered,
Well,
True.
we can just try and dig a little hole on, like,
just a
just
little hole.
like.
I would
so-
like to point out, even if it is a partial dome, if you dig a hole on the inside, it will just fill in the hole with the magic field.
Think
So,
of magic
uh,
like soup.
What if you started the hole outside the and then tunneled under?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
You can give it a try. I won't
Okay.
stop you, but
Like the
So,
yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be worth it with all the digging that'll.
Alright, so can I get closer to the book and
What if
investigate
you
it?
turn into a beetle one day? Then it'd be worth it.
so you
a
can
mole.
go ahead and
I-
try and get a closer look at the book. You have to tell me where you're planning to land and then roll a perception. And depending on where you land, you may have to roll a stealth check.
What's a good place? Alright, this is a pony. Ooh. Can unicorns feel on their horn? They could probably see that. Okay.
He
How
is
about on
wearing a
top of-
hood at the moment.
on top of the hood. On top of the hood is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, and you're still moth-sized?
I am still moth-sized.
Okay, then
So-
you can do that without a stealth check.
Yes. Okay.
But you do still have to roll perception to see if you can read the page.
All right.
Let's see if you can read with your moth eyes. Oh yeah, if this high level mage can't read this arcane text, you're probably gonna have a hard time.
That is true. I got a 12.
So
Nice, that'll
you're
help.
looking down at the page, and you've seen some different text. You've seen some stuff written in Old Ponish. You have no idea where this came from. The letters are not just strange; they're downright alien looking. There are all kinds of pictures. You do see a picture of an alicorn, though, so that you do know it's from this world, at least.
Sounds like they
I
like
wonder.
princesses.
Or maybe they're trying to create their own alicorn.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Wait.
I
It's a
feel like
spell to
that's
make somebody into an
probably-
alicorn.
That's probably reading too much into it.
Wait, what was the
Maybe.
last part of that? I missed it. Nameless. Could you reread the alicorn?
There's a picture of an alicorn.
So you know it's from this
It's-
world. At least.
All of this, it looks like it is hand-drawn, or hoof-drawn, hoof-written. And it's the page, it's a type of paper you haven't seen before.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
You can also try and roll history to see if you can think of anything that might be.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Ooh. I rolled a 2. But wait, plus intelligence. 4. 4 adjusted.
That's good. That's good.
Yes,
it-
you are convinced that it is just a book. A book that is old. You don't know where it came from.
So
Could be worse. You could
so
think
were
it's
they-
Princess Lu.
The only other check that you could make for it is Arcana to see if the text is magical.
It's definitely magical. Do that.
All right, sure. Arcana, here we go, baby. Arcana is going to be 15. 16 adjusted.
So, looking at the book, you can't sense or feel any type of actual magic from it. And from what you can tell, from what little you can see in the images, it looks more like a history book.
A history book. Okay.
Oh.
So he's having trouble reading it because he's dyslexic after.
No, Notion can't read it
No.
either.
So
It is an
I'm wondering-
unrecognized
Than you might think.
alphabet.
So I'm wondering this: were they experimenting on Derpy last session? I'm wondering this. I mean, I'm not
think that was a
asking.
No,
Cool.
we learned the backstory. Derpy flew by, and they were questioning whether or not they should let her go since she didn't mean any harm, or whether they should not take their chances and just straight up kill her.
I'd be in favor of killing.
Well, good thing you're not a cult member. Besides, never mind. Okay. Let's see. Can I try rolling for history again?
I'll let you try one more time.
Okay. 9.
It's
Yep,
better.
you know it's an old book.
All right.
That's really good.
Yep. Okay, I am short of ideas.
You're also short in general, Shorty.
Why don't we just regroup
I'm
for
5'11" and 3/4. That's basically 6 feet. Okay.
Am I still
Uh,
playing?
What was that?
now? Why don't we just regroup for now and try and think of a better plan?
Regroup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've gathered as much as we can from this.
Well, we can probably come up with a different plan of attack. I think that was a really good initial mission.
Sure. All right. So I fly back to the group, and we regroup.
We. If.
Craig, Yoshi, you knew me back then when I still couldn't fully pronounce my R's.
Wait, what?
Oh
It
my
took,
god.
it took me
Such
good
a long time.
I
Good
couldn't
lord.
make any S or H noises or SH noises. It was really brutal.
Wow.
Notion. I think I
would
first
pronounce
met. I first.
shower as owl.
Yeah, Notion. I think I first met you when you were in 8th grade.
Oh,
8th
that's
grade?
sad.
Yeah, definitely. I was in 7th, 8th.
No, I knew you in elementary. When you
I
were...
didn't know you at all. I think I
Okay.
saw
Went
you.
to school together?
Yeah, we went to the same school.
We did.
Oh,
Because your mom was my math teacher in the 7th grade, so of course I knew.
The
you.
web.
Uh,
Yes,
So
the
what are you
tangled
guys
webs
doing
we weave.
now?
anyway, yeah.
Trying
we're
to figure out a
regrouping.
plan.
I think they're
All
going
right.
to
So what did you
middle
find
school
out,
together.
Notion?
Yep.
Middle and high.
To learn
I'm
about
flying back to the
history.
group, and I'm gonna tell the group, share with the group what I discovered.
Awesome.
wait. So Notion. With since you're back here, can we try? Why don't we try and dig under with like a big mole creature that you can transform into?
I don't know. Well, it could work, but I don't.
I could
I
do.
think that's a lot of suspicion just to test if it
Yeah.
might extend.
Because
I
not
think
only
so,
would you
too.
have to dig the hole, you would then have to cast a spell inside of it to make sure that.
Oh yeah.
Because
Okay.
remember,
Yeah.
spell-like racial abilities do not get nullified.
Right. Okay. So.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
but I have my Eldritch Invocations. That doesn't cost me anything to use, and it can still
Yeah,
fly.
it's not a racial thing. That is a class thing.
Yes,
That's a class.
you were receiving magic from another being, not from
Mhm.
yourself.
So it doesn't use a spell slot to try it. So there's no harm.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
But it would still take a lot to go down there.
It would. Yeah.
And I mean, a
Especially
mole big
since-
enough to make a hole for for somebody to fit
Yeah,
into.
I was
is gonna draw a lot
it
of
would be
suspicion.
worth it if you were just being a mole, like mole-sized animal. But again, I can look like a mole. I can't fit my fat body into a mole hole.
This is
I
true.
could
Yeah.
I could morph into like a. Can you morph into larger creatures as a polymorph? Because I noticed the original spell was limited to creatures your own size. But could I become a large mole and then dig a large?
Right, but then that's a lot of suspicion just to test how far this barrier goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what other ideas do we have? Okay, so I have to tell you guys, there's a book, really old. I don't recognize the language. There's a picture of an alicorn inside of it, and this guy's just like trying to figure it out. He's confused about
I
something or
think he
another.
can't read.
Yeah,
Hmm.
something like that.
I want to point
Uh,
out that Notion could also not read it.
I also could not read it. Yes.
I also think that Notion can't read.
Wow,
Look
throwing the
at him.
shade.
I'm Jared, 19, never learned how to read.
What up?
I don't know. I feel like we need to
oh.
destigmatize not being able to read. It's a real thing.
Okay, so there was also two cult members that were hoarding rations. I noticed, so that's interesting.
Tell us about the cave thing.
The what?
The cave thing.
How would you know about that?
No.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What cave thing?
The leader of the cult is hiding in a cave and hoarding rations.
Oh,
That's the most important piece of information.
oh yeah. So,
So
I
there's some
heard
kind
the
of
leader
unrest
of
going
the
on.
cult is hiding in the cave, and oh wait, the cave. There's a cave. Is that what the big rock is? Like an entrance to the cave where?
No.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that.
Notion is so lost right now. All this information was handed to him, and he's still
Notion
just now
got
figuring it
easy.
out.
Too
Yes.
intelligent.
We're explaining.
Notion
We're
got
explaining
EXE
it
just
to
stopped
him.
working.
Okay,
I
I
think I even
explaining
told
it
you to
to
go
him.
check out the
Here's
cave.
where
God
the
damn
leader
it.
of the cult is hiding, and he comes back, and they're like, "The people look hungry."
so
God damn it, Notion.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I saw some people.
Good job,
eating
Notion. The
meats.
winner is you.
Saw
but
some
there's
people eating.
the cult leader, and he's in the caves. And where is the cave? Good question. Let's find it, and then see what the cult leader's thinking. You know?
Sounds like a good plan, Stan.
Yeah.
All right. I bet it's the middle rock. Let's go check it out. Or who should check?
Let's
You.
split up, gang.
No.
The changeling. The changeling thing worked pretty well. That is nice to go in undetected. So I have that advantage over Rise. I can flutter into the middle rock and see what's going on there. How's that sound?
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, I do
I
just
think
that.
the rest of us should stay behind and try and figure out what these things in the bag are, because we still don't know what they all do.
Okay, good idea. Yeah.
So you're just going to randomly put on items that you don't know what they do.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
plan.
I'll do it. I'll do it. It might give me killing abilities. Who
We
Yeah,
should
knows?
that's
definitely
smart.
figure out. We should probably wait to put that on. Just try and figure out what it is first. Magical.
Is it possible for it to give me killing abilities?
It is possible for it to give you dead.
I know, but I want to know, can it give me killing abilities possibly?
Actually, no.
See-
She specifically said it can't.
Oh man.
Well, I'm interested in this helmet. Like, I want to, what kind of helmet is it? Like, what does it look like?
It looks like a fairly decently made metallic helmet. So like a heavier
Alright.
armor helmet.
Okay.
Damn it, if only you were heavier armor, you could wear it. So, this possibly
Says
worst
the
stuff
entire
I've been
party
through,
but the fighter.
Hmm.
I'll take the armor.
No.
You're a druid.
Aw,
I don't even think you're supposed
Yeah.
to be able to wear armor.
Yeah.
aw,
Yeah, you are not allowed to wear metal armor. I could try it on.
oh.
But does it have magic?
I don't know, does it?
Hmm.
You could always try really hard to roll Arcana.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna roll Arcana.
Thank you.
I just got a 4.
Alright.
Double what I rolled a few rounds ago.
Okay, let's
So
see, I
Rai
think I have
knows that it
bonus.
is in fact a helmet.
Wait. Let me add my +1 to it.
Oh, fine.
She is slightly
No.
more sure that it is in fact a helmet.
Alright,
Can
I'm
I-
gonna give it a shot. Let's have Ballistic go first.
Okay. Get the dice out. Oh, for
I hope
it's a
you don't-
6.
Alright.
You're even more sure than Rai that yes, it is in fact a helmet.
This is us
I'm rolling.
debating it.
I'm rolling for Arcana.
Productive over
Screw it.
guys.
Fuck it.
It's a 1.
I rolled a 20 adjusted.
Woo!
Me of all people.
Please, watch it just be a normal helmet.
So
Yeah.
as you roll for your limited knowledge of magic, you somehow managed to realize above both of the magic users that yes, it is in fact a magic helmet. You have no idea what it does.
Woo!
Aw.
One way to find out, baby.
Can I put on? No. Okay.
I can't because I'm a.
You
monk.
cannot wear non-organic armor.
Oh boy.
Okay, right?
Wait. What?
Alright,
What just
I'm gonna put it
happened?
on. What?
Sorry,
Hold on.
It's just, who's gonna try that on the helmet? I can't because I'm a moth.
I am unable to find it.
God damn it.
I mean,
Alright, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put it on.
It's accurate.
So as you put on the helmet, you feel suddenly strong. You get
Oh
a
baby.
+2 to strength.
Nice! I
Oh.
get +2 to my score. So that brings me up to a +6.
That's pretty great.
What if we wrapped it in leaves and then put it in the druid? No,
The
on
+2 goes to
It doesn't work like that.
hey. No, Yoshi. The +2 goes to
Yes.
your base strength.
To my Yep, I got that.
Okay. I was just making sure.
And that improved.
Oh, so
Don't
it's
worry.
only gonna be plus
Got
1
this.
point. Okay.
No, that helps out a lot though.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Very
am I
nice.
at the center rock yet?
I will point out that if you take off the helmet, then you will not.
You will not have the strength.
Baseball.
Yes. Oh my God, Ballistic, that one is great.
By the power, dark helmet.
I have yet to see.
You have seen Spaceballs?
Not yet.
what?
Oh,
Ow!
It looks
It's hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
How have you not seen anything about Rick and Morty and one of their biggest memes.
True.
Because I'm 14.
What do you mean? What does that mean in the context of not knowing what memes are? Like the first.
Before she has a brain aneurysm, is anybody else trying on any items?
Before anyone has a brain aneurysm.
Right now, all we have necklace and 2 rings.
Quickly, before anyone has a brain aneurysm.
Aneurysm.
I have brain damage.
I got brain jam.
There's still 2
got
rings
brain
and a
jam.
necklace.
Oh yeah, put those on. See what happens.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Why?
I guess I'm gonna put on one of the rings.
Yoshi,
Okay.
you're the one with fingers.
So there are 2 rings. One has a blue gemstone and one has a red one.
I'm gonna go with the
And the
red.
red one
I'm gonna
and
go with
the
the blue
blue.
because it matches my eyes.
Okay, as you slip on the ring, you suddenly feel slightly more charismatic. You get a +1 to charisma.
Ooh, keeping us.
That actually works pretty well for you.
Okay, so the blue is charisma. What about
Okay,
the red?
I was gonna
I'm
say.
gonna put on the red one and just see what happens.
You don't really feel anything, but the ring feels, for lack of a better description, like it's full of something.
Okay,
Just got some
but
kind of spill.
maybe.
It
well,
will
yeah,
require
it could also be,
further
like, reserved
attunement.
health points.
Ah, I see.
Okay, someone else tried putting it on because it might be something that just doesn't work with me.
Wait, am I able to wear this?
No, it's metal.
Am I a wolf or something? A werewolf?
You're a druid. I really, really like our druid.
Or a fairy?
This is what happens.
Am I a wolf or something?
As
God,
part
I
of
love
being a
those
druid, you have a
compliments.
vow that you cannot wear metallic armors and things like that.
Oh, interesting.
It's because you don't want the plants to feel bad. Because plants can't wear armor even if they really, really want to.
We'll just go with that. Apparently, you've never seen an ant wearing plate mail.
I said.
You said plants. An ant is a tree person.
Oh, I thought you said ants.
So, there is a
So
necklace
someone else-
and one more ring. The ring.
Put on the.
So the necklace is a leather necklace with a bird skull on it.
No.
What? Why no?
Because I like burbs.
I like ants too.
So you said it was made of leather?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
the-
let's try that on the druid.
Yeah.
It sounds cursed.
You sound crazy.
Ballistic.
Ballistic, you're having too much fun with this.
I am.
So as
I
you
really did think.
as you put on the necklace on Ballistic, Ballistic suddenly feels like he knows the forest better than he did before. You get a plus
I
four-
know the Schwartz.
He
Wait, wrong
already
movie.
thinks he
You get-
knows it more than. Sorry.
Did you say
You get
the
a
forest?
+4 to survival
Hey,
Yeah.
and a
that's a
+2
wisdom
to
strength.
nature.
hey.
Hey, for survival, I now have what do you say? What did I get for survival?
+4?
So that's 8 plus 4. So 12 for survival from now on. Until I take it off.
Yes,
Okay.
if you lose the necklace or the rings or the helmet, you will not have the abilities that they give you. I would also suggest that you write these down.
Okay.
I am. Wait, so what am I wearing right now?
A leather necklace with a bird skull on it that gives you a +2 to nature and a +4 to survival.
Okay, so is there something for me to write this all down where? Like,
On your
is there a
character sheet.
okay, I don't know where that. Wait, features and trade. Oh, equipment. There it is. So,
Does he ever make you want to scream?
Are we talking about all of you in general or just one of you?
Leather.
Do I make you want to scream?
When you sit
don't
there for
think-
20 minutes talking about the same plan and bringing up the same part of the same plan, yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Plus 4.
It is
okay.
only slightly frustrating.
Okay, I have my leather necklace gear down.
Okay, that's cool. And then you said it was +2 to charisma, right?
Yes, a +2 to charisma.
Oh, and
Thank
plus
you.
2 charisma? Okay.
No, not
no,
you.
That's okay, yeah,
That was the ring.
right.
Okay, so do we
Alright.
have anything else in the bag to give to our changeling?
Nope.
I haven't already flown away.
He can
Maybe
take
we
the.
can.
You can
I
give him
mean-
the ring, the other one.
No. Maybe we can tie him with the
No.
rope.
What is a moth going to do with rope?
Who knows? He could try and strangle someone.
I'm sorry.
This is 50
it
feet
melts,
of rope.
It melds into his
He is actually
it melds
a
into
moth
the
right now.
new form. Yeah.
Moth is
That
so
is a good
cool.
point. They
Ever
are.
think about how
Indeed.
cool moths are? Fucking cool. So cool.
A moth
Alright.
cannot
They're
lift
birds
50
and
feet of
small.
hemp rope.
Not with that attitude.
I am
Okay,
sorry,
can I
not
just
even
go
a
down-
nat 20 would be able to help him then. The relative size is not going. No, that does not work.
You
Sorry.
feel like the opening to the B movie.
Oh god, please don't remind me of that
According
movie.
to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a moth with 50 feet of rope should be able to fly. Oh man. Okay,
Okay, what are you guys doing?
flying to the center rock to investigate, and I am a moth.
Yes, I
You
am
said
aware you're a
moth.
moth. We were
Yes,
just
I'm
discussing
moth.
this. So
Alright,
you're headed
alright.
for the center rock? Are you going to
I am
check
indeed.
anything on the way?
Keep my eyes peeled for anything significant, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
there is a giant boulder that keeps moving around the camp.
I guess
Ignore
I
that.
should- I'll get close to him and
I would
see what
I
he-
would consider that fairly significant.
Yes, I
Yeah,
consider
that
I
is-
as well.
You know when you said you're going to get close to the boulder? Reconsider.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
that's a giant
Not
torterra.
close, but just enough to see a little more about it. Just on the
Just
way.
enough to give it a little poke. Just to explain that.
So I
So-
would like to do that.
As you get closer, you notice that it's not just a giant rock. It is in fact a humanoid-shaped rock, strangely enough. And it just kind of seems to be wandering along a strangely laid cloth that seems to circle around the entire camp.
That's cool.
The heck is a human? I'm so
It's
confused.
bipedal.
Okay. All right.
Oh. It's a bite.
So
And you can't tell me
Uh,
there aren't bipedal creatures in Equestria, because just look at basically the entire population of Klugertown.
of what town?
The town from the movie,
I'm sorry, this rock is shaped like a
yeah.
bike pedal?
True.
bipedal. It means
bike.
that
Okay.
you
Can
guys
I
are
investigate the
quadrupedal.
clothing he's stepping on, or the cloth he's stepping on?
You gonna take a look?
Yes.
Take a look.
So you get closer, and from what you can tell, it's just a piece of fabric. You're welcome to roll Arcana to see if you know anything about it.
Yeah, I'll do that. What? Oh, okay. So that's what I mean. Arcana. So 16 plus 3, 19.
Oh no!
That was so good, you needed to pin it.
All right. Let's see. I got a 19 on the Arcana.
So
Well,
from
how
what
did
you
you
can
know?
tell, it's laced with a thread that gives it the ability to power anything magical that is set on top of it.
Oh. So this is a magical being, a magical bipedal.
It's probably.
You can roll Arcana to see if you can tell what the rock
it's a
thing is.
construct.
I do that, and I got a 22.
So this is what is known as a rock golem, a magical construct that can be given simple instructions to guard things or such. So anything
Got it.
caught in its path, it will attack if it is not marked as a friendly. Normally, the best way that they find to mark is to give them something like an amulet or something to distinguish the difference between friend and foe. This would also mean that it would be able to discern between magically transformed friends or foes.
All right,
Oh
so I
my.
need.
Have y'all
I need
played Minecraft? It's
Yeah.
a rock. Yeah, it's basically that thing that was in the villages to help with the villagers.
Except
Okay.
this one is on attack at all times unless you are wearing one of the amulets.
So fly away from it.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
this guy's in-
I can go back into one of the camps and see if I can acquire an amulet, right?
But how
You
are you
can
gonna
attempt
use
to.
that as? Yeah, how are you gonna use that as a moth though?
You can be buff moth.
Extra large moth.
Also,
See if
yeah,
we get
I
on
also
that one.
don't think
Buff
that the
moth.
golem is going to be that much of a threat to you right now because it's in a no magic area and it clearly needs to be it's trapped within the confines of that carpet.
So the carpet is an exception to the no magic force. It seems.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to the center.
Wait,
As I
holy shit!
as I told you, anything set on the carpet will be powered.
I think what you should do is do the thing that moths do best and eat that cloth.
Yes, because several hundred yards of cloth will be easy to eat within whatever constraint of
I'm a
time.
hungry moth. I'm a growing moth. I need all the food I can get.
You are a single
Can I
moth.
investigate the center rock?
Yes, you can go and roll investigation on the center rock.
Okay. I'm going to roll investigation on center rock. Ooh, natural 20. But I also add 3 to that.
So, as you were investigating the rock, you find a fairly obvious hole. But that hole, you know.
Okay. I'm looking.
God damn it. That hole, the edges of it, you notice, are smooth rather than just a cave-like appearance. From what you can tell, it looks like it was smoothed out with by magical means. You also notice that there are a number of traps at the front of the door
What?
that, from what you can tell, they're magical in nature. You would have to roll
Oh, dear.
Arcana to learn more about them.
It's
I
gonna be tricky to get
roll
past.
Arcana. Hold up. Let me
Roll
see what
another 20.
I'm rolling really good right now. That's intelligence. So 20 adjust.
Nice.
So, when you investigate the traps, you notice that most of them seem fairly simple, aside from that.
What? What?
Yeah, that's going. God. What the fuck?
I don't get it, but it's still funny.
Look away for 5 seconds.
He's pickle sawtooth!
I'm listening. Keep going.
Oh my god, give me. You're gonna have to
Got
get
these memes. These memes. It's too much. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Stop for 30 seconds to laugh at this stupid thing.
I'm pickle sawtooth.
Pickle no shoe.
Okay.
Alright, continue.
Where was I? Oh yeah.
Something about the traps.
So for the most part, they seem to be simple magical traps. You step on them, they explode. But there is a part of it that you can tell will allow people with certain items to cross over.
Probably the same amulet.
You can only assume that it is the same amulet.
Probably the same amulet.
Only assume that it's what?
The same amulet that allows you to pass by the golem without it attacking.
Okay, so we need to acquire one of these. That's for sure. Okay. I'm seeing a plan where I could pose as a guard and be like, "Oh man, I lost my amulet. Do you have a spare one?"
That's great.
That's not suspicious at all.
That one should work really well.
But I have high charisma and I have charm person.
No, that's a good plan.
Yes, because charm person has worked so well for you so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Not
okay,
to
no,
mention
it
the
has.
fact that once you use it and it's done. Dang it, ballistic. Not to mention the fact that once you use and it's over, they're gonna know that you used it, and they're gonna be immediately suspicious.
Okay. Plus my magic hasn't been working there, and it's not likely to pass. Okay, so forget the charm person plan. But I do have good charisma. Can you give me that ring and
Do you want to fly back out, get the ring?
yeah.
Okay, let me think. Okay, the only issues I can think about that is I can think of it as infinitely better if your disguise, if you actually no. You don't want to transform inside of the camp. Yeah, come out.
Okay.
The make.
Man. So
Yeah, they're born to make.
he's reading all these so confused, like normal things.
He's just like, what the fuck is going on?
This is the helmet.
It's just normal things. Bugs.
I forgot how silly this looks to people not playing with us. Okay. Okay, so we can still squeeze y'all in. Okay.
Yeah, we
that'd
can.
be-
That could
We
be
can
pretty
still
interesting. We
squeeze
do
y'all.
need some more spellcasters.
We can still squeeze y'all. Free hugs for everyone.
Although I could just imagine how this
free
goes.
Market cap.
Oh.
It'll go exactly the same as the last session.
Yes.
Oh.
Indeed.
Okay.
Where'd Fair go? Explosion happens in camp.
Where'd Fair go? Fair
We have to go
flies
fast.
500 in the air.
Yeah, no,
So-
we need to go fast if we want Fair to be here, because we can't be doing anything when Fair is here.
So did you have any problems with my idea of coming back, grabbing the charisma ring, flying back?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
go for it.
let's do that. I'm gonna fly back, morph into one of the guards, wear a charisma ring, go back out to the camp and say, I lost my medal. I don't want this golem to attack me. Quit.
Okay, so you're going to just find some random cultist to fly up to and be like, "Hey, I lost my thing."
No, I decide to visit the guy reading the alicorn, because I feel like you would want to talk to one of the leaders. You can't just get an amulet from. So
Okay.
I'd go to him.
Don't say you lost
believe
your
you, though.
amulet. Say, oh, shit. Say, you caught two people stealing rations and they took your amulet from you when you threatened to tell the the people.
That's pretty interesting.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
That could
they
work,
better
and
be
it would cause a lot of
distracted by
chaos.
something else.
So I tell
If
a
it
truth
doesn't
and
work,
a lie, so that when he finds the veracity of the first claim, he trusts me more on the second. I like that. Oh wait, but
the only problem is if he doesn't believe you, I think that's a good idea anyway. I calculate risk.
It's better than anything. Like, it's better
Yeah,
than
okay.
not saying it.
okay. So wait,
Yeah.
what should I go with? Should I go with I lost it or they stole it? Because why
Say-
would they steal?
Well, they
If they
stole it.
both
'Cause- okay, basically what they're doing is they're trying to shut you up.
They're
Right,
trying to
they're trying to
keep
say, like-
you. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of you, basically.
Oh yeah, they took my
Identification ring.
I caught them hoarding, and they took my
And I said I was going to tell you, and then because of that, they took my ring.
No, but he won't give me a new one if he won't give me a new amulet.
But they're
just
going to take
recover.
one of theirs, possibly, and give it to you.
Okay. I think this is that's what we're gonna do.
All right. That one's almost as
I like that format.
still like I think I still like the Trump one a lot better, but that one's good.
Yeah. I know, but I just saw it and I couldn't help
It-
myself.
Cannot top pickle notion though.
Love Twilight. That's a good one.
What was that, Nameless?
I said it cannot top pickle or pickle. God damn it, pickle notion.
Pickle Twilight. We need that now.
I'm tickled.
Also, can you get a pickled notion?
Dub. Okay.
I'm in extreme pain. Please help. Surprisingly enough, I have never actually seen the show.
Oh, okay.
What?
I watched.
I've seen that one episode. That one episode is a fucking roller coaster.
The
In
pickle
Rick and Morty, my uncle did voice lines for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's he play?
That's an interesting question you ask.
Like sundry background characters and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you always have like in Gravity Falls, Alex Hirsch plays like half the character.
So, what are you doing
And
now?
Justin Roiland plays most of the roles in.
Justin
in
Roiland is
Notion.
so incredible.
yes,
What are you doing now?
I'm flying back so I can grab the charisma ring
Okay.
and turn into a
Pickle
guard.
Morty.
So, are you what kind? I am going to point out that this ring will only fit on a horn. It is not a
I
hoof-sized
don't
ring.
have a horn.
You do have a horn. You're a reindeer. You have two
What?
horns.
Wait.
Have you
Twice
not
the
seen?
horns don't need-
You said you watched the episode with the reindeer. They have horns.
Never looked in the mirror.
Yeah, I know they have horns, but I don't think about antlers the
Rye.exe
same way I
is
think
stop
about
working.
unicorn horns.
It's okay, Rye.
It's like
Just
saying,
accept
I
it.
don't have fingers, I can't wear a ring. Obviously you can, you're wearing it on your toes. Why didn't you think about that by default? It's like, well, like I guess, but no.
So,
Okay. So I guess I'd morph into a unicorn a cult member.
okay.
That makes sense too, because you don't want to be a non-spellcaster.
Right.
That'd just be bad news.
So,
So, am I at the group meetup?
so
Am
you're
I there with the rest of them?
you're with your party now.
Okay. I morph into a unicorn guard and acquire the charisma ring.
Charisma acquired.
Is
Charisma
Rye still
ring is
wearing it?
acquired.
No, you just acquired it.
Okay.
What are you
I,
expecting me to make you roll for that?
Yeah, I bite you.
um.
Initiation
So-
of combat between Rye and Notion.
Okay, this
Roll
is
for
part of the
initiative.
plan I didn't think out. I have to go near a golem now as a guard without.
Oh.
Well, no, his range is still on the carpet.
Yes, he stays on the carpet.
He would have reacted to you the same way if you weren't a moth. If you were a moth.
Okay, so I go out to the tent where the unicorn with the book was,
Okay.
and I make a scene.
No.
I tell him what I saw. Those two members, those two brothers. No. Herald. Those two heralds are
Heretics,
hoarding
no.
rations.
Oh, heretics. Heretics.
They're hoarding rations, and they broke my amulet so that the golem would attack me because they didn't want to
No,
get.
So go ahead and roll deception for the amulet part,
Come on, baby.
and persuasion for the rest of it.
everything else.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Deception. +2 charisma, +3. Oh baby. Okay, 21.
So that's
What was
for
that,
which one?
21?
Yep.
Deception.
Okay. And go ahead and roll for the persuasion,
Persuasion.
because you are persuading him to go and to give you a new amulet and to go and deal with it
16.
too. 16?
Yep.
Now let us see if he's persuaded.
Please.
He is both.
Come on, baby.
He is deceived, but he is not persuaded to move.
Oh.
Just cry.
You can attempt. You can attempt to persuade him to give you an amulet, though.
Okay.
Just give
Okay.
me an
All right.
amulet, man.
You know what? Fine. Don't believe me. Watch the rations just dwindle away faster than they should be because of these horrors. But at least give me something to protect against the golem out there. I saw him eyeballing me in a very not savory way. I don't want him to destroy me. Give me an amulet.
Please. Ask very nicely. Say please.
And is that another roll for
Persuasion.
persuasion, which is charisma 21? Woo!
Very good.
So you see him sigh and roll his eyes as he walks over to a small chest. There's a number of small amulets inside, but as he's walking, you do notice that he is wearing a much different amulet to the one he is about to hand you.
Oh no.
He
It
hands
could
you.
just be because he's more important.
He hands you your amulet and tells you to get out of his tent. He has much more important matters to deal with.
Okay, I think that we basically have to steal that chest.
You do notice that in the chest, it is more of the same amulets. He does not have more of the ones like he is wearing.
I don't think that the amulet
All the
he
ones
gave
that
you
he's
is
wearing?
going to be dangerous. If
Hold on. More of the amulets he handed.
What?
I didn't quite hear what you said. More of the ones that he's wearing.
So the
No, no,
amulet,
no, not
or
the
ones
that
the
he
amulet, the unicorn cultist, high-ranking, the cultist officer. We'll go with that. The cultist officer is wearing a fancier-looking amulet than that has more inscriptions and gemstones than the one he handed Notion. The one he handed Notion is rather simple.
Okay, so
Okay.
do you want to hear my analysis of this? Okay,
Yeah.
they wouldn't. Okay, so I don't think you're in any direct danger, like that amulet labels you as an enemy or anything, because they wouldn't have a chest full of amulets that do that. And I think the reason why it's different is because he's just a higher ranking person,
Yeah.
right?
I
That
And
makes
you
sense. Yeah.
probably don't need that higher ranking one unless only higher ranking members can go into the cave entrance.
That's what
And
I'm worried.
even then, we don't really need to visit the cult leader to find out what's going on in the camp. You know? So I feel like we should focus on staying as low recruits, but I think it would be a huge benefit in the future to basically just have that chest full of amulets. Actually, no, never mind, I'm wrong. If we take that whole chest full of amulets, they're going to start labeling anyone with that type of amulet that a whole bunch got stolen of as enemies.
Yeah, but that applies to the people that they're actual people who are to earn the honest amulet. So
No, because they're just going to update their caution procedures. If a whole box of amulets full of what labels them as friends gets stolen, they're going to update everything so that anyone with those amulets could possibly attack.
Good point, Cimaris. Okay, so we don't know that we can try to get in the center thing, and honestly, I think we're supposed to because there's so many ways to get past the golem. We don't really need the amulet for that.
Yeah, I
So
don't know.
we just got an amulet for nothing. Is that what you're saying? I think that
I think it's still good to have for your validity as someone who lives on the camp.
So wait, I still have the pass without trace spell.
What?
It's true. You do still have that.
So
As an
are these
option.
amulets an individual basis thing, or can I use it to open a door and have some people sneak in?
What doors are you opening?
The center stone entrance,
The cave entrance?
the cave entrance. Yes.
Ooh.
The cave entrance. No door, cave.
Okay.
There were
but
traps
was
in front of the cave.
Okay. And people with an
Open the-
amulet could pass. Is there a way that I could pass it and then toss the amulet to the next person and they can pass it to?
Well, why does
someone?
everyone need to get in?
Yeah.
'Cause
We only really need.
we're a team.
it's really best if only 1 or 2 people try and get it. Especially since
Okay,
I have no.
but I'm
that would
doing
never
everything around here. I feel bad for you guys just sort of like twiddling your thumbs off on the sidelines.
This is
you know?
important information.
Yeah,
it's definitely
Ballistic is obviously itching to kill.
Yeah, ballistic's always itchy.
Okay, I haven't done anything yet.
ballistic is. I have some questions.
But he wants to. Okay, so I guess I'll go into the cave. I'll go into the spooky
Hey,
cave
Yoshi.
all by myself.
Hey,
We
Yoshi.
believe in you.
Yes.
Roll perception.
Roll perception. Oh,
What?
Oh no, that's bad. That's what bad means.
this little.
Guess I'll just die then.
Rolled a 13.
So while you're
Adjusted.
hanging out in your tree, keeping watch or whatever the hell you're doing up there, you do notice groups of cultists are periodically moving in and out of the camp in irregular patterns. From what you can tell, it looks like a guard rotation.
Guard shift.
Or lunch break.
Okay. Probably a guard shift.
He is a royal guard, so he should know what a guard shift looks like.
Yes, it's a guard
Well,
shift.
I'm a lunch expert.
So there's guys moving around.
Yes,
and
because
stuff.
groups of
So-
four or more cultists mean that is totally a lunch break. When
Okay,
they're
so it's
carrying
pretty
no
good.
food.
I mean, that's
If it's
just
groups
because we
of
don't have
that's pretty
rations.
good.
But no one's gonna question me if I'm a higher ranking, if I look like a higher ranking. cult.
People who are higher ranking or at the same rank will. They'll be like, who the
Yeah.
fuck this guy?
It's true. This might be better to pass as guard.
Yeah,
Is
there's
it-
no reason to fly too close to the sun.
Still, this is important
it's being
information.
Way of
guard.
saying don't go in the cave.
So, what are you
you can
doing,
try and
Notion?
go-
I see why you need to go into the cave right now. Like, it obviously sounds like appealing and like a goal, but there's nothing that's like, we gotta go into the cave. The quest is to get information. We can get information outside of it.
How? What's your idea for that? Because I've tried being a fly on the wall. I've tried.
What
I
is in the cave that's gonna, like, help you?
The cult leader.
The cult leader's gonna help you?
There's going to be a lot of stuff in that cave area. Then it's got to have some. Is what
If
is
you
in
wanna
there,
risk
and
it.
to risk. Yeah, that
Oh no.
can we risk it?
I would like to point out that wherever the leader is, it is going to basically be the nervous center of whatever operation is happening.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good place to be if you're trying to figure things out.
Okay, let's
Um,
go in then.
All right.
All right, you're still a.
Wait a second. Why did we even do that? What trap is gonna get you as a moth?
He's not a moth right now.
No, just in general.
That's true. Like a
You're gonna be
magical.
stuck in a bear trap? I don't know.
This is like a
Oh, so
magical.
you're saying I
They are
Magical
all
is
magical
disabled.
traps.
magical trap. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Plus,
This cult has shown itself to be very caster heavy, so they are all magical traps. Because
yeah.
why
Okay,
bear
but
trap?
I'm going to morph
Mm,
into once I enter the area. I'm going to become a moth again, so that I don't get caught.
okay.
Right? So I
You
can
should
be a fly
stash
on
the ring somewhere.
That
It'll
is right.
actually morph in.
The ring and the amulet will not morph with you.
No.
That
It
we
won't.
specified earlier.
So they'll clank on the ground. Unless I lie down and morph into a moth. That is what I shall do.
That'll be the
So you're-
nicest-
So you're
Freaking
just
wow.
ditching the.
You guys are cutting out for me.
So
No,
you're
I'm
just
sorry,
going to
I
ditch the items.
I'm gonna say please don't do that just because I cannot think of anything more suspicious than a guard walking into a room, lying face down on the floor, and then disappearing in a puff of fire.
No. Okay, I'm envisioning like it's not like we're gonna go down. It's not like we're gonna pass the doors and then someone and then the head guy is gonna be right there. There's gonna be like at least a corner to turn that I can do it.
I think that you would just lose the charisma ring in there and lose the amulet in there, and it's detection wise, it's just as safe to go in as a guard.
As a lower guard?
Yeah, just like be a guard.
Okay, I'll pass it off as a routine check if the head honcho tries to talk.
I don't know, if there's other guards in there, just copy what they do, and if they give you shit, be like, listen man, I'm lost. You know?
Okay. Alright. Sounds good. I'm gonna do that.
Man, I get home sick and tired.
Oh, I haven't been adding my charisma bonus this whole time.
Yeah.
You're a charisma-based class. Why are you doubting that?
Listen man, I'm lost.
Okay, so I'm going into the cave as a unicorn guard, not guard,
Guard.
herald.
Roll
Herald of the
dexterity.
sun.
A dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh, okay. All right. Dexterity. Dex.
delicious.
17.
Scheiße. Scheiße.
So you managed to dodge out of the way just in time for a lightning bolt to hit the roof of the cave.
Maybe it wasn't directed at him.
Yikes! Wait a second.
It came
that's
from the
really-
ground where the traps
Came from the
were.
ground?
So that your
gonna
rank
say.
amulet is not high level enough to enter this area.
But oh my gosh, you're right. Okay, I thought of a way I could smooth off of this. Like, oh yeah, my old one was broken, and this was the only one they had to replace. Do you have any higher level passes?
They-
Okay. All right. So where am I? Where do I find myself?
Well, you're currently standing in front of the cave.
Oh, I didn't enter.
No, you got zapped by a trappy trap.
Almost got.
You almost got hit by a lightning bolt, which I would like to add is a lot of d6s.
It's a fireball.
Yeah.
Fireball.
Okay. So that's a dead end. We need a higher level pass if we're going to go in there.
Yes, and how are you
Right.
going to get one?
Switcheroo. I'll pull the old look over there, and he'll be like, "What?" And I'll push him out.
Yoink.
Is your
Your-
sleight of hand high
your-
enough for that?
Your number one skill is charisma.
Okay.
I
feel
find this
like
amusing that
this session is just
sorcerer is
being a life coach.
the sorcerer is attempting to try and do the rogue's job.
Yes.
Wait,
This
who's
is
the
why-
rogue? Who's the
We
rogue?
don't have a rogue.
Sim was
Okay.
going to be the rogue, but he can't.
That has literally never
Join.
happened to me, where there's
Okay.
no one who's like been a rogue.
But the changeling thing does give me an advantage here. Okay.
Mhm.
So, okay, I can't try any spells here, so that's not a good idea. All right, I guess I go back to the alicorn guy and request an upgrade.
It's gonna recognize you.
Yo, I noticed this was Zappy. You gave me the wrong one.
So
Yeah.
you're
When I
going to
tried
have
to
to
enter
roll
my
deception and
barcode-
persuasion.
What was
when
that?
I tried to, okay, what you need to, okay, how about this? You say when I tried to enter my guard the defense thing zapped me. You can pretend to be relatively good. I think you gave me the wrong one.
Oh.
Just act like you didn't notice there's a difference between this and the last one until you got
Oh.
zapped, and you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
what's that.
I am a higher ranking one, so I can play it off like that. Oh, you gave me the wrong amulet. Okay, that's what I'll do. All right.
So you
So I
didn't
head
even notice.
to the guy, and
Cannot go.
what was that?
This cannot go.
This cannot go something. I don't know.
It just can't go.
possibly go. Yeah, this can't.
This
Alright,
just
well-
can't go.
I go anyway.
I go fight with the haters.
So
Um,
roll deception and persuasion because you
ooh,
are trying to do both.
Yes.
They're both charisma.
Okay.
The worst he can get here is like a 7.
Ooh.
The worst he can get is a nat 1.
Which is
Okay, my
immediate
deception's gonna
and
be
pain.
15,
Okay.
and my what was the other one?
Persuasion.
Wait,
My persuasion is going to be 12.
oh, you're not a very good cat.
So
Oh wait.
Well, at least he
I'm sorry.
believes you.
The charisma ring. Shoot. What
Plus
was the
2.
first one? So what was the
15.
first one I did? 15. So make that 17 and make the second one 14.
So as you try to convince this guy, he looks at you rather skeptically before reaching into or unlocking a larger chest, reaching in, pulling out a smaller chest, unlocking that one, and then pulling out a ring that's been locked around several amulets that look
Oh.
identical to his. He unlocks that and pulls out one of the amulets and says, "If I hear anything else about this, I will have you skinned alive."
Oh dear. Okay.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yes, Dad. Thank you.
I'll stop things, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he
Thank you,
goes
sir.
back to his
Good day,
book.
sir.
All right. And I get out of there. I get the heck out of
I
there. Okay.
bounce.
So I give this cave entrance thing another.
Nothing happens. You
Alright, so I
notice that the
actually-
cave leads into a tunnel, and the tunnel looks long and branches off
Okay.
farther in. You may need some help.
Well, okay. Um,
Let's
This is
see.
gonna be iffy.
wait a
I will
second.
also point out that your companions have noticed that the golem only walks in a circle in one direction, fairly slowly.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
I
we're
think
not
we're
worried about
heisting
the
both.
golem. We're worried about the traps.
I am
think we're
aware.
heisting.
I'm assuming it'll let him escort us.
And also, Ballistic, you cannot enslave the golem. The golem cannot be convinced of anything.
Aw.
That
Can
is-
I make a
Oh,
ball?
Can we?
Wait.
Can I escort them into the cave?
Yeah, no, it won't go off. The traps won't go off as long as someone's meant to be there.
Okay. So I pass. I go back to the team, high fiving the golem on my way out. He's totally
No.
cool with me.
High five.
The golem shows no signs of acknowledgement.
Yeah. So he leaves me hanging, but I head back to the group, and I update them. I tell them I was able to talk the guard into getting me this pass. We can go into the cave now. I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need your guys' help.
Okay, I can help for once. Thank goodness.
Yes, I'm sorry that took so long. I've been trying to get you guys involved. Okay.
It's okay, Dad.
All right, so Onward. It's a great movie by Pixar that I enjoy.
So,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
what do you guys do before heading into this camp?
What do you mean before?
Can I cast a spell for Pass Without Trace? No, okay, that'd be stupid.
No,
Never
no
mind.
magic.
Yeah, I
No
said that.
magic.
Forget.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You can
that-
attempt to cast
Yeah, I
the
said that.
spell, but it will be
No.
2
No,
spell slots higher.
I'm fine. I'm fine without doing it. I realize how stupid it is.
Okay, so do we want to decide who should have what as far as the things have? I'm gonna keep the charisma ring, and you guys should decide who gets what.
Well, I can only wear one thing, so
Wait,
You were-
why?
You wear that then. So I guess we can all.
Okay, hear me out. What if we tie our horns together and both wear the charisma?
oh my gosh.
That would not work. I am
Thanks.
sorry. Only one
What
person
was
can
that?
wear the ring at a time.
Thank
What if
you.
we're really, really, really standing close together?
I'm sorry, it does not wear off on proximity.
Thank you for clarifying. Okay. So wait. Does someone else think that they'd be better suited to wear the charisma ring?
I mean,
No sharing stats.
Oh, okay.
yes.
You want the charisma ring?
Yeah, just because I'm the only healer and my healing ability is directly tied to my charisma.
That's planning for failure. We hope to get in and out without a battle.
Relying on you to talk to people is planning for failure.
No, it's not.
Wow. The shade that just got thrown.
We're gonna run into someone, and I'm gonna make it seem like it's totally normal. You know? I'll use my feminine wiles. Alright, yeah, I guess you can have the ring.
I think that you should have it on this campaign, just in general. I mean, we can decide on a case-by-case basis. Because you're more established here, I think you should have it today.
Okay. Alright, sure. I guess, are we ready to head out then?
We have
We have our heading.
So
Yoshi, that's something there you cut out.
gonna need something.
Yoshi, it sounds like you're about to have to roll for stealth.
Oh,
Along with
baby.
ballistic.
Huh?
Horror. So bad.
I am also
Wait,
going
I
to
have to roll
point
for
out
stealth?
that I am also going to point out that he forgot to take the second amulet.
Dang it.
So
Wait.
you guys currently have
Wait,
2
no.
amulets.
So I have to roll stealth too?
Do you look like a cultist?
No, okay
Scheiße.
then. So stealth is dexterity, and this is gonna go terribly. Oh, actually, I got 19 adjusted.
Okay.
So,
And
the
actually,
person
Rai's
less stealth-
gonna have to do so as well because her ability won't work in the field.
Archon,
Okay, we start.
take this weak amulet here. It'll make you into the to the golem suspicion.
Okay.
I hand him the weak amulet.
Nice.
You add charisma modifier to touch, right?
Okay,
Mm,
so we start. Team.
seven.
Then we again. It's an 18.
Okay, you are now stealthy.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, stealth
You are
is
now the
bad.
stealth.
I am very still.
Okay, I got 19.
Stealthy.
The world is ending again, but we are doing.
Stealthy boys.
Did you wait? Did you see the Peacekeepers one? Diamond Dog
Yeah, I saw
Peacekeeper.
that one. Yeah.
So, you guys, I'm assuming, are ready to start moving.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going in.
You
wait for
managed
the-
to
Quite the assumption.
you make
Wait
it
for
managed
the
to make it
golem
all the way to the cave entrance without any hiccups.
All right.
Very nice.
What do?
We enter the cave.
All at once?
I
I
go
mean,
in.
We only have one person with an amulet.
We have 2 people.
Yeah, I go in. I stand right by the door. Oh, sorry, I'm fixing some. I stand not the door, the entrance. I stand by the entrance to activate the "I'm okay, don't kill me" sensor, and then instruct the other 3 to pass.
I just kind of slide right
I'm
in.
assuming.
Okay, so who is going first?
Okay. I'm going to assume that he told us basically everything he encountered going up to this.
Oh, let me just tell you everything I encountered going up to this real quick. And
Thank
then I say
you.
everything that I encountered. So yes.
So, who if this is how you guys are doing this, who is going first?
I'll go first.
Roll a
Alright.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. 16.
Oh,
You
Like
managed to
Scooby.
narrowly dodge as a pillar of ice just kind of
Oh,
appears and
no.
slams into the roof. It disappears
Oh,
shortly
gee.
after.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
Scoop.
Wait, so
Motion
I
is totally
barely...
unharmed.
So we
So
do
I-
not only Notion has protection.
Because
Wait a
Notion is
second,
wearing
I
the
went-
necklace.
So I barely missed being hit by it, or I did get hit by it.
You did not
You
get
did.
hit.
Very narrowly.
Okay.
Wait. So I got in the cave and I got a suspicious cue to gather help, and then it turns out that no one else can. Wait. Unless I do that thing I said, I pass the entrance, take the amulet off, and chuck it to the next person, and we enter one by one. Hmm.
Is that what you're going to do?
It's gonna be sketchy, but we can try.
I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right.
So you
I-
step clear of the traps.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm clear of the traps. I take off my amulet.
Nothing happens.
Oh, thank you. I was expecting you roll for whatever. Okay.
Roll
You for
Constitution.
whatever. Can I
Roll
just say,
Constitution.
You roll for whatever.
I couldn't think of it.
It's just like roll
Okay,
Constitution.
so who should go
Die.
next? I throw. Okay, I want. Who has the? Am I gonna have to roll for throwing?
I'm gonna say no because it's not that huge of a distance.
Okay.
Anybody trying to jump it though would still get hit.
Okay, I'm tossing the amulet to.
I'm gonna try to
Right.
catch it.
Okay. Rye, you now have the amulet.
Awesome.
Might I suggest that you leave the only person with hands for the last?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. I'll do that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna walk through after putting it on.
You're safe.
Okay, and then I'm gonna toss it to ballistic.
I'm already through.
What?
No,
Yeah,
you're
ballistic maybe.
Wait, aren't I? Oh.
No.
Okay. So,
no,
I
you
was.
survived not getting impaled by an ice pillar.
okay.
I
Okay.
thought that too. I'm like, oh yeah, I passed. I made it through, but no.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna be right back.
Oh,
okay, so I get the amulet and I just walk across.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. And then I throw it to Yoshi.
All right.
Archon, catch.
Yeet.
He drops it.
I drop it in the traps. No.
So everybody has made it through.
All
Alive.
right.
Handing the amulet back to Notion.
All right.
So as you continue along down
Okay.
the tunnel, you come to a two-way split. What do? There is no indication of which way you should take, just
Go
a
right.
direction.
The right way is always the right way,
Yes.
except for when it's the left way, which it could be this time. There's no way to. Can I do I have night vision that helps me see down the tunnels at all?
The tunnels are lit.
Oh. Can I investigate?
Can you investigate the tunnel?
I just want to look down and see what I can observe from both tunnels.
So you want to roll perception on the tunnel.
Yes, I do.
I'd like to perceive the tunnel.
Probably do that.
Wisdom, which I don't have any of. Okay, 6.
For perception also.
You are convinced that this is, yes, wait for it, a tunnel.
Is it a tunnel?
Holy shit.
Okay, can I
It's a
roll
tunnel, you guys. I promise. I swear this is a tunnel.
Can I roll
I
perception?
can just tell it's a tunnel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you're going to have to pick a tunnel and go.
Can I
Or you
roll
can
perception?
split.
Don't
Uh,
split.
No, we're not.
Splitting is not gonna go. we should-
Let's go left first. Yeah, gang. All right, we're going left. I start going left and hope that everyone follows.
So as you
Alright.
guys get to the end of this side tunnel, you notice it ends in a very square room. And as everybody
no.
enters the room, a hidden door drops and seals almost seamlessly. In the middle of the room, there is a pedestal with
You know,
a hourglass in the center. The
This
hourglass
can't be.
tips over, and so it's set on a pair of arms with
basically an axle through the middle that holds this hourglass so that it can turn. So it flips over and starts spilling sand. And as soon as the sand starts running, the ceiling begins to drop.
Oh, it's
Can
a
we go over and
Death trap.
flip the hourglass?
As you flip the hourglass, the sand resets, and so does the ceiling.
Wait,
And then it starts again.
So,
Okay, set the hourglass.
Let's turn the hourglass on its side.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said.
So as you do that, it simply flips to a different side and continues.
wait. Right, you have telekinesis, right?
yeah,
Why don't you just hold it?
because do you want me to hold all the
What?
sand in place?
No, like flip it over and hold it there.
Or,
But it's gonna run out anyway.
okay, I'm gonna just actually no. I'm gonna use telekinesis to levitate all of the sand and keep it in the top quadrant.
So as you attempt to do this, you notice the sand is continuing to do whatever it feels like despite your input.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Wait, did you say
We're
the
gonna have
wait.
to get out of
ceiling
here.
resets whenever we flip it?
The
Yeah.
ceiling resets and then starts
So-
again.
so it's not
You
that
said the
serious
door-
of a threat. We can just.
You
we
said
have
the
time to
door was
figure it out.
sealed?
Yes, the door is sealed. There is nothing that you could
Can I-
feasibly grab hold of.
Can I roll for
Okay.
perception, or investigation, and investigate the room?
Can I just try putting on any Mask of Many Faces real quick?
You find that it is easier to use magic here.
Okay, so we can
This
use
is
magic
not-
again.
Yeah, this is not in the anti-magic. Or it's outside of the whole thing.
So can I roll for investigation until I can investigate the room for a way out?
You can try.
Okay. So I got 22.
You realize that this is a very cube-shaped room, and this is an hourglass in the center. You do notice that as the ceiling gets closer, just enough space that it's not crushing the hourglass moves upward in the center of the ceiling, but it's not enough room for anybody to crawl into.
Okay.
The ceiling is now about halfway down.
Okay, let's flip
Hold
it
on.
again.
Flip it over, reset.
Hold on. Does anybody have What am I thinking of? One of us had. Hang on. What was it?
Wait. What do you mean? I
thinking-
could crawl through it. I was just a moth not too long.
I'm thinking of a spell.
It doesn't give you enough of a room to escape, just not to get squashed.
Hmm.
Okay. So, is there anything significant about the room being a cube? Anything?
Quickly, grasp at straws harder.
The ceiling is a quarter of the way down.
I flip the thing. I give it a good old spin.
Ceiling resets.
Do you think there's
I
a
break-
limited
I
amount of
break the
time?
glass.
To flip it? No.
Don't
Can I
do
just
that.
grab my unicorn horn and
That cut out in a
All
key
right.
moment.
So what are you doing?
I used Call Lightning.
This is such a bad idea.
I'm kidding,
Underground.
I'm kidding.
Alright, you know. So this
Do
is
you like
just like
how
a
smart our
stone.
party is?
we're back. What'd you say, Rye?
I said I'm really like how smart my party members are. It
I
gives
was
me
kidding.
confidence.
How smart you're what? You keep cutting
Party
out.
members are. It gives me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, we've all got,
Oh,
we've got a
party-
great party
party
here.
members.
All of us
It was-
together.
I was-
Really
Don't worry. I think it's not just you, Zebra.
I am going to
Um,
say that this
okay.
has a fairly simple way to get out.
Hey, is the choppiness happening for you guys?
Yeah, it's happening a lot for you. To me, yeah.
I will give you guys one
Everything
hint.
was just super weird there.
Yeah, I have a question. Can I just raise? Okay, if I raise the hourglass to the ceiling, will it just stop at whatever level this hourglass is at?
You can't move the hourglass.
I can flip it? Okay.
There is a very simple solution to
Can I-
this,
can I
and it
try
involves not panicking.
Can I try
Do
breaking the glass?
Oh,
You
do
cannot
I
break
just,
the
like,
glass.
Do I just let it go?
Hmm.
What if we just like let it go as far as it
Yeah.
needs to?
So you're going to let it go?
Let it go
We can
until
always
it's
flip it
in
at the
danger
last
of
second.
crushing us. Yeah.
The ceiling is now halfway down. As you wait, it continues. It is now 3/4 of the way down. You can no longer stand up straight.
I lay on my side.
As you guys lay there, the ceiling gets to where it's touching your sides, and then resets, and the door opens.
Huh.
Why
Oh,
would
it's like a
someone make
trust fall.
this?
Interesting.
Why would someone make this?
That's
It's
a
a
good
trap to
question.
keep some.
You
It's a
notice that it is also
psychological trap
only
more
the
than anything.
door. It is only the door that you came in that opens. There is no other door in the room.
Oh,
Okay,
so
Yeah, I
let's
think
turn
this
back
trap
and go
is
the
more of a
other way.
psychological. This trap is designed to make you panic, so you constantly are resetting the hourglass and never
No,
leaving.
I understand what the purpose of the trap is. It just, why would you have it
I don't know.
in a layer? But
Just
it's
in
not-
case.
Okay.
Anyway, I
doesn't-
think we really.
Help against defenders.
All right,
If
well
someone hits-
let's go back down the tunnel. And go
Yeah,
down
we're going to the right.
I would also like to point out that if you were actually part of the cult, you would know that it was already there.
Mhm.
So it would not be a problem for the cult members. But
Yeah, no, I don't.
prospective spies wander down there and end up trapped until somebody either finds them or they die of starvation, suffocation, or lack of water.
Okay, and they would just stay there flipping the hourglass for eternity. Meanwhile, we
And
figured it out. So we can escape before anyone finds us. All right, so we go right this time.
Yes, we're going to the right.
So you
See, I
guys,
told you
At
the
long
right way
last,
was
like Zebra
right.
suggested at the beginning.
you
Well,
guys,
there's no way of knowing.
go down the tunnel and through a metal door into a fairly simply furnished room. In the room, there's only a handful of things. There is a bookshelf with 3 books. There is a table with what looks to be a large red pony skull and a pedestal.
That's
And on one wall opposite the door is a mirror. The door slams
the book
behind you.
run.
Oh boy.
Of course it
You
does.
know, I feel confident.
I would like to
And this door is
look
metal.
into the mirror. and
So,
see
as you
the-
look into the mirror, you notice that the image is not quite the same as the room. The books are in the same order, everything else seems to be the same, but the pony skull is somewhere else. It is on the pedestal.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's
I
not
would
a
like to
mirror.
invest.
It's a doorway to a. Maybe to.
I want to take a.
It's a
Just
doorway
place
to
it
a
on
room
the
that has
pedestal.
us in it. Sorry.
I want to take a look at the skull. Can I go investigate the skull?
Be careful
Just
touching
place-
it.
From what you
The
can
skull on
tell,
the
it is
pedestal.
a painted red skull. It is in fact a real skull.
Oh boy.
Put
great.
From
The
what you can
skull.
tell, it's either a Pegasus or an Earth pony. Difficult to say which, though.
Yeah, I think Zebra might have the right idea. That we
Okay,
should put
skull on
the
the
skull
pedestal.
on the pedestal.
That feels like the obvious course of
Make it so
action,
that
which
the
makes
room-
me worried.
Make it so that the runes match. I like that. That's good. Good job.
So what are you guys doing?
Let's do that.
Put the skull on the
Yep,
pedestal.
I'm
So as you
the
put the
putting the
skull,
skull on the pedestal.
as you put the skull on the pedestal, the mirror melts away to reveal another door.
Door.
Here we
Or
go.
did you say you
Zebra
cut out?
got it.
Did
I
you
assume
say
he said
the
door.
Okay. All right. Let's go
Zebra
through the door.
strikes again. Let's go.
That
do you
made me
think?
nervous. I don't know if I think that was the solution or if this indication that we did it wrong.
Well,
I think
door's
it was
a
the
good sign.
solution.
Okay.
the door means we go. I mean, the door. What else would be the right?
Yeah.
So as you
Notion. It's just like in Super Mario 64, the The one mirror room.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're on the right track.
Okay.
So as you guys go through, you come into a fairly well lit area. And there's not very many things in it, but it looks like basically a chow hall for the more important people.
Are there people in here?
No, not at the moment. You do have a tunnel
Okay.
to the right and a tunnel to the left of the room, though.
Oh, here we go.
Go right.
They wouldn't do right twice in a row, right?
You
Would
sure?
they?
They've done
That's how you-
they've done psychological tests before,
Yeah.
and they often do that. And people often go the opposite way because they don't think that they'll do the same thing twice.
Should we
Rock,
have
paper,
investigated?
scissors.
Should we have investigated? Oh yeah, we could flip a coin. Should we have investigated the books on the show?
What are you
We
going
can
to
take a
do?
look at it later.
Can I run back real quick and take a look?
Sure, you can go take a look at the books.
Okay, I go back to the other room and just see what the books are. What do I roll for?
So you don't have to roll for anything. They're just books sitting there. You've noticed that for the most part they are unwritten in. They seem to be
Oh,
there
like
as a
journals.
decoration.
That
Okay,
makes me uncomfortable.
I try to eat one of them.
No.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Bruh.
never mind. I go back to rejoin the group. Is what I meant to say. Slip of the
Are you a goat
That's
now?
That's more my thing.
no.
Secretly Grogar.
No, I am still I'm still the same thing. I go back to the group and tell them my findings.
That would have been a good April Fool's video. You confirm that a character is Grogar because you saw them eat a book.
And that is how he learned magic.
He
So-
ate the knowledge.
So which way are you guys going?
We're going left this time.
Right. No, go right. Oh, for crying out. Okay, left, fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
So
Following
you
the leader.
Alright,
So you
we'll try
guys-
left.
you guys go left and you enter what appears to be a perfectly normal kitchen. There's nobody
Okay.
in here. The room seems like it hasn't been used today. But it is a kitchen.
I raid the fridge.
No.
So, what
No.
do? You going the other way
I
now?
raid the fridge.
Yeah, I think we're going the other way.
No, I feel like there might be something to this room. Like there's got to be something.
It's
here, you know?
attached to a chow hall.
Good point. Okay,
I
let's
think-
go right.
Yeah, I think.
You
Okay.
can roll investigation
I-
quickly.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna roll investigation.
We are definitely thinking way too hard into this.
Intelligence, which I have one of. All right, 20 adjusted.
You find out that yes, it is in fact a kitchen. It seems
Okay,
just as
so-
poorly stocked as the upstairs area claims to be.
They're running out
Alright.
of food.
Alright.
Okay, we gleaned something from that.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Alright,
we already
well,
knew
let's
that.
go. Alright, let's go to the
No.
right.
Like I said before.
Yep, like
Go right.
ballistic suggested. Let's.
So as you go down
Alright.
the hall, you notice a couple offshoot rooms. But the hall continues. What do?
Like two separate rooms.
How many offshoot rooms? 2?
There's 4 in total. 2
Okay.
on
Let's
each
all
side
do
of the
this one.
hall.
Let's each take a peek in them and then tell each other what we found.
No, don't split
Yeah.
the party.
Well, it's not
Split the
splitting.
party.
The rooms are right.
Let's one at a time open the doors together.
Nah, that's no fun.
No, we can't open the doors. Just peek inside together.
Just tell me right or left.
We couldn't peek inside without opening the door.
What do you mean, right or left?
There's
Let's
2
start by
rooms
looking-
on the right and 2 rooms on the left of the hall.
Let's start with the closest one on.
Closest
Left,
one on
sorry.
the right. Oh.
So you're
I say
doing the
right.
left?
No, right. We're doing right. I rolled a
What's everybody else think?
right.
Left.
Right.
What? I thought you're.
Oh
I
boy.
thought you're all about. Okay, we're doing right because I'm the leader. I rolled a.
Why is he
What
the
am I rolling
leader?
for?
It's not very democratic of you.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not very democracy.
if you
Yes.
didn't
That
know,
wasn't very country
He
road.
smiled slightly. His teeth weren't democracy.
That wasn't very
It's
country
Princess
roads.
Twilight Sparkle. It's not democratically elected leader Twilight Sparkle. It's not like no one voted
you
for
know
Twilight.
Okay,
After this-
Starlight.
I'm investigating the left door.
So you
Flurry
open the
Heart.
door and you find a bathroom.
Very nice.
Okay, I investigate
Ballistic,
first.
there's
right?
your bathroom.
Wait, what?
No,
There's your
Ballistic, get us
bathroom.
out of here!
So what is it?
What?
What?
Ballistic can't be in bathrooms, it's a rule.
Yeah, the first one
Why?
on the left is a bathroom.
Alright, I investigate the first one on the right.
You
Alright.
see a room with several beds lined up.
Alright.
That's
I'll
where
check the
people sleep.
farthest one on. Yeah, I think
I
this is a
go
living
into
quarters.
the bathroom.
The farthest one on the left is another bathroom,
Yes.
and the other one
Okay, yeah.
is another room with beds lined up. They seem to be
Okay.
I go
separated by
quarters.
gender.
I go
Living
into
quarters.
the
Oh.
girls. I go to the girls' bathroom.
No.
Dang it, no!
There is nothing in there.
We continue forward without
There are no females in the curses. Foiled again, says Zebra.
I go into the male's bathroom because I really have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
At least he's
So while he answers the call of nature, what are you guys doing?
cry.
We're gonna.
Uh,
I'm gonna stick with cry.
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry with Ryan.
So you two are sobbing in a puddle in the hallway while he takes a piss.
I roll my eyes.
Hollywood
It's
production
just like I
hour,
hear them.
guys.
I just hear them crying, and I'm just like, "Hey guys, are you okay?"
Does that make you pee harder?
No.
No,
What the fuck was that question?
Okay, Ryan. I
Accident.
realize you're a
Does that
girl,
make you
but
pee
like,
even harder?
Okay. All right.
Like seriously, what was that question?
Ballistic
Okay.
finishes up and joins us to continue down the hallway.
Yeah.
why were you crying anyways?
So as you
That's
guys
a personal
continue down the hall, you come to
I'm
a
gonna take
fairly
a-
large room.
Okay.
At the far end of the room is a pair of ponies that you don't recognize. One is a unicorn, the other you can't tell.
Wait, we don't
No.
recognize
Bad.
them?
In the center of their room, there is an enormous map of Equestria and the lands beyond.
Whoa,
And
can
it's-
you say that
it
again?
seems-
You cut out-
There is a
Connected to the cutie map.
There is an enormous map of Equestria and the lands beyond. It seems to cover even more than the cutie map does.
So
Oh,
kill the two
shoot.
people and study the map.
No.
There is a number of
Oh,
It's gonna be
places
tricky.
marked on the map.
Oh,
Canterlot being one of them, surrounded by several
So
black,
that's where they're
black and
sending
red
raids.
squares.
Hang on, I
so-
have an
But-
idea.
Kluger Town is
I have an idea
also
for this.
Arcana. Someone
it-
roll for Arcana.
it is. You can tell it's a non-magical map. It's just a map that they made.
All right,
Okay.
I have an idea for this. So
Hold
we're
on,
still.
I am not done describing it.
Okay,
All right.
keep going.
You notice that Kluger Town and an area not far from it are also marked, but these have no squares and seem to be marked more of a "we need to go here" type reaction.
So we can send
so
the
I
sense.
so let's
Uh,
try and get information from the two ponies in the corner.
I think that's
Somewhere.
not a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well,
think we
here's the
can
thing.
get more from investigating the map.
We came here to gather information, and we
The-
just learned their next target, the next point that they're going
Yeah.
to visit.
We
So
can
we can
just
get ahead of
leave.
Yes.
You also
We
notice
could-
that the
we-
two ponies are poring over a much larger version, it appears, of a similarly written book to the one that Notion saw earlier.
Oh.
Do remember
okay.
that if you start talking to each other, that you can and probably will be heard if you are not trying
Okay,
to stealth.
I'm gonna
So we're
use
gonna
my
retreat
cantrip
down-
message to individually tell people to just talk to me, and I'm gonna communicate all messages through me.
All right, so I'm gonna then say to Rye that I have an idea. Ballistic to try.
Oh no.
I'm gonna communicate that
yeah.
to everyone using message.
Okay. I also tell Ryan that we should figure out what this book is about because I saw the same one elsewhere, and it seems
So you saw a similar one with the same text.
And
Well,
I just send
Okay.
and I just send Rye a whole bunch of thoughts she doesn't want to transmit.
No. Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Ballistic,
I'm
quit
gonna
being
have-
dirty.
I'm gonna have
Wait,
this
who said they were
interaction.
dirty?
Wait, Notion. I just want to ask specifically. Say, you saw this book? What did it say?
Gibberish.
I knew it was a book.
I knew it was a book. That's all I can tell you.
And I'm like, how
Okay.
new is it?
I can tell you
All right.
with
Can I?
great certainty that it was in fact a book. Oh, hold- somebody once. Oh, that's great. I didn't see that.
Somebody. Okay. So- Can I say my plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Ballistic. You
Wait,
still
no,
have
don't,
pass
don't
with.
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Think it.
Yep, I'm saying it to Rye via message, via thoughts.
Thinking it to Rye.
I think Ballistic. You still have pass without.
Yes, I do. I also have invisibility.
Both of those could be useful. We need to see more about that book. Alright,
Yes.
Okay.
So use probably invisibility would be the better one. Hang on, think about this.
Okay.
The problem is Ballistic probably can't read.
Hey.
No,
True, but neither could Notion.
Yeah,
No.
I just
yeah,
didn't
what
roll
I'm
well.
saying is, like,
You
Someone
can't
here
get
can roll
better than. You can't get worse than Notion.
Wow.
in
Exactly.
general,
Either way, see, either way, we can make somebody invisible, and then maybe cast pass without trace on them for good measure.
So I have to touch the person in order to use invisibility on them.
You
Mhm.
can use it on multiple people.
I can just turn invisible,
That's true. You can do that.
so we wouldn't have to waste a spell slot. But I also
I would also
wouldn't
like to point
be-
out that technically speaking, Rye's flight is silent.
So I can
Yes.
just
She farts
leave.
glitter and it propels her through the air silently.
So they'll be able to
So-
see the glitter,
So
though.
she
That's the
can't.
problem.
Yeah, she can't really be invisible if she flies.
No. I mean, it's
Would the
gonna match.
invisibility affect?
My glitter matches visible parts in my body, I believe.
If you
Does it?
use invisibility, it will also cover the sparkles from the flying.
Okay, so that's what we're
I
gonna
just
do.
want to do something.
Okay.
Like I just want to be invisible and read some stuff.
Alright, at this point, one of us should stay behind and we one.
I'll happily stay behind.
If I'm able to memorize the text, I'll be able to perfectly replicate it.
Alright, so let's have Rye do it this time. Let's send Rye forward with her invisibility, and she can try to read.
Well, how about both of us can just go over invisible and read it? And between the two of us, probably something. And then I can just. And then I can do my best to remember as much. I'm going to try less for translation, as much of memorization, so that I can use my object, I can use my image cast skills to just replicate the page and bring it back for everyone to try to read.
So I'm.
And I'll
Coming
work
along.
on translation.
Oh, you and Ballistic. Rye and Ballistic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ballistic,
Okay.
will, Ballistic will still have to roll stealth since he is walking.
Yeah. Okay, so
And no matter what he gets, he thinks he does the best job possible.
Nice. That's
Okay,
very
so-
nice.
I roll and I get a 16.
Okay? So you can go ahead and go now. Just let me know when you
Okay.
both go.
So I'm
Yeah,
going to go over and I am going to memorize as much of the page as I can. It's like I don't need to understand it, just remembering the symbol. And then
And I
I'm gonna
work on-
come. Yeah, and then I'm gonna come directly back over and then just create in like our little huddle. I'm gonna use my whatever cantrip I have. That's it's either minor illusion or prestidigitation. I can't remember which one it is.
Minor
That just-
illusion is the one that lets you make something, but I don't know
Yeah.
if you do.
And just make the page that I saw for everyone.
So and I'm gonna work on translation and just reading it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and everyone.
So you can
just
go
try to
ahead and
read
head
it.
to the. You can go ahead and
Um,
head to the pedestal where they're standing reading the book.
Okay.
Okay, nameless. Just out of curiosity, how far away are the people?
What's that?
How far? What?
How far away are the two people reading the book?
I'd say about 60 feet, because they're at the far side of the room, and it's a large room. It looks basically
Okay.
like it's set up to be a war room.
Two
Okay.
bros chilling in a war room, 60 feet apart because they're knocking.
I love that one.
6 feet apart because they're not gay.
6 feet apart because they're not infected. All right, good.
Okay,
That's
so-
important to know.
Let's go to the pedestal and start working on our respective parts.
Okay, so when you guys get there, the first thing you notice is you've never seen this language before. It is
Hello?
You never.
You
What?
just cut out
You
huge,
cut out.
dude.
We don't understand the text. Sorry.
the text on it is just as alien to you as it was to Notion. You found out
Right,
that
came here for nothing.
it is not the fact that Notion could not read. It was more the fact that basically
He couldn't
nobody
read well.
I'm sure
nobody knows
someone
what this
in-
language is.
I'm sure like Celestia or someone translate it.
Are there any
Twilight
Nothing.
would also
Nothing.
understand. She'd probably know something about this.
Are there any pictures?
Well, no, I can use a minor illusion to copy exactly
So
what I
this
saw.
one has different pictures from last time. This
Ooh,
time
can I use?
it has groups of alicorns and one alicorn that seems to be drawn differently. For lack of a better description, it looks similar to Nightmare Moon but different.
They're trying
And
to make their own
it's-
alicorn that's evil, or they're
it's
trying to summon an evil
Standing
alicorn.
over the crowd of alicorns like some sort of leader. In
It's
the
an
next
evil
page,
alicorn.
it's surrounded by alicorns and what appear to be Draconicus trapped in the Nightmare alicorn is trapped in a crystal.
Well, that's probably good.
So it's wow. Okay. So it seems like this is ancient history. There's like some sort of alicorn civilization, and there's an uprising, like a villain trying to take over, and the alicorns plus Discord plus a draconic
This one is-
froze them, like somehow sealed
Turn
They're
them
off.
into
trying to
stone.
bring them back.
I am going to say that it
So,
doesn't
wait.
look exactly like Discord, but you can tell it is meant to be a Draconica.
Draconica.
Yeah,
We
you know what I
still
mean.
love you.
So, wait, can I roll perception to try?
Possible that this dark alicorn is the one that is their leader, is coming back. This
Yeah,
sleeping
this-
sun, sleeping sun, of which they are herald, mayhaps.
Wait, can I roll perception to try and figure it out?
Perception is you are perceiving the thing, which means you are looking at it.
Yeah, I am looking at it.
That is not going to tell you if you can try and figure anything out.
You're looking for investigation, I think.
Oh yeah.
If you're
Investigation.
trying to discern the nature of the text, you can roll Arcana or History or possibly even Religion.
Oh, roll
I'll
religion.
do.
I think that
uh,
actually we can investigate the text later, right?
If you keep a perfect copy of it, yes. But you have to roll
Can
an
I-
intelligence check to make sure that you get a perfect copy.
So can
Okay,
I just?
so let's try to get both of us to do that. Between the two of us, we can try to piece it back together later.
Then we have to write it down again so that
Does he know Minor Illusion, though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know it.
Yeah, but you can still like look at mine and see if you remember anything different.
Yeah, I still think we should try and like get
Both
stuff
of
from
us
it.
right now should try to memorize it.
You didn't bring
You
your
can both
cameras?
roll intelligence checks to see if you can memorize the page.
So intelligence checks.
Yes.
So I just roll and add the intelligence.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me check.
21.
Okay, 19.
So you, as far as you can tell, you have gotten a good idea of the page, the two pages that were available to you.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
So you can do whatever you think you need to do next.
Okay, so can I?
think that, do we have enough information for us to get the hell out of this?
I think we have good information right now. Yes.
At
So
what point
can I?
do we
Keep
turn back?
these amulets. We'll have a good way back in too.
Oh, 'cause,
So
like,
can
there's not a decisive thing like save Derpy. It's go in there and get information. But how? There's always information to get.
so
So,
can
like-
I?
I think we know where they're next attacking. We have a vague idea of what their general plan / religion is, and
And we learned about a little bit about history.
I
Yeah,
agree.
So
let's
I
see
think
what
we've
else
got
we can
enough.
learn from the map, and then we just scootaloo out of here.
Yeah.
So can I-
think. Yeah, I think once we look at the map and figure out a little bit more, then we can go ahead and go. There might be
so can,
places around some of those cities that we could.
We also have a
Figure
good
out.
idea of what defenses they use.
so can. So can I roll for Arcana and History to try and read this book, or even roll it?
Are you doing it right now?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and try.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll Arcana first, and 22.
Okay. You notice that it is not a magical text.
Okay. So can I roll History next?
Yes.
Okay. I roll. So 18.
So, as you attempt to recollect any mention of any sort of events like this, even as far back as the stories of Grogar you've heard, you have no recollection of any of this kind of thing happening in the histories that you have been taught.
Okay, and then finally, can I try Religion?
You can go ahead and try, yes.
I don't think
Okay.
you're gonna get anything.
I've got 19. 23.
You keep rolling. So good.
You don't know any religion that follows a sleeping
Okay,
alicorn
yeah.
or anything of that sort.
Okay, so
Sleeping
yeah,
Alicorn.
I'm good with
Remember
going
that
now.
phrase.
What phrase?
Sleeping
Sleeping
Alicorn.
Sleeping Alicorn.
Yeah, remember.
I'm
this
going
is
to
the
point
code
out that that
sleep-
was not a hint.
I know, but it's just a good way to characterize.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's the sleeping sun. Wait a
Yeah,
second.
clearly this was some really strong.
Wait, but the sun is Celestia. That's her.
Maybe when she was princess.
Nightmare
was
Sun!
it or
Nightmare Sun! Sorry.
Daybreaker. Now, who controlled the sun before Celestia?
Oh.
Like when Celestia wasn't born, who was the strongest alicorn to control the sun? And probably
8
the
unicorns did. 8 unicorns did.
hmm before them.
That's six unicorns. Star Swirl and 5
Oh, did.
horseplay. Yeah.
And the Diary of the Two Sisters.
hmm All right, let's check out the map and let's go.
I'd also
We already
like
did.
to point out that for the two sisters, all we know of history-wise is Grogar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And-
that's the only
and
thing we
that
know
one-
about before.
Magic pony that
Yeah.
his name escapes me at the moment.
Gusty?
Star
Gusty the
Sword
Great.
completed. Wait,
Yeah.
Gusty the
Star
Great.
Swirl.
And so there is a scene in I remember that scene from the show that you talked about Notion in a video recently about
Mhm.
Gusty the Great and Grogar with where they're ring in the hospital. But that
Yeah.
one story is all we know about.
The one that's
Time.
strangely set near Cloudsdale.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's all we know about before the sisters.
Right. So this is even earlier. That's interesting. Really pushing the timeline. I love it.
Princess would love to know about this. She could get lost for days.
Scooter?
So, what are you guys gonna do
All right,
now?
let's get out.
Let's leave
yeah,
for now,
we're
I
gonna
think.
Look at their battle map more. Is there anything else
Okay.
you can glean?
There's not
Sure,
much
yeah,
else
let's-
besides a couple of troop markers that have been set on Ponyville and a couple other towns throughout the
Oh.
entirety of Equestria. From what you can tell,
so
it
which
looks like
town?
they are embedding troops everywhere. And there's
I
no
don't know.
Okay.
no
Specifically.
there's no way to tell how many of them there actually are, or if this is actually the de facto leaders.
Okay, so some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Can
we
anyone
definitely
memorize this map?
on this book. If anybody could memorize something about troops, it'd be me.
Okay,
I'm
go
also
ahead,
going
sir.
to point out that if somebody who's already attempted to memorize something tries to memorize something else, they will forget the thing they attempted to memorize
Yeah,
previously.
that's why I ain't gonna try that.
So Yoshi's the best. Archon's the best to do this anyway.
Yeah, he's basically already has like experience memorizing exactly this map, like this type.
So you can go ahead and roll a perception and a intelligence check, since you are a little distance away from the map.
Okay. All right. My perception check is a 20 adjusted.
He's got a bird eye.
Okay.
Fucking
If I
hell!
had the bird eyes, I would have gotten 20
Are you right?
at the same time.
Yeah, I just got spooked.
And now your
All right.
intelligence check for the
Well,
memorization.
My cat jumped
Intelligence
from
check
the ceiling onto
is
my lap.
a yeah.
Fine,
Yeah, it was
cat.
my cat.
18
Fine,
adjusted.
cat.
I cannot hear you because people are talking over you.
My bad.
It was an 18 adjusted.
Okay. So
Wow.
you guys are good to go now. What are you going
Let's
to
get
do?
out of here. We're gonna go stealthily.
We are going to exit back out of the cave.
We're gonna
Yep,
save game.
Run out
Um,
run out the base screaming like bloody murder.
No,
Wait a
we
second.
won't
We're gonna
do
go full fair mode.
Are the traps one way?
What do you mean?
Are the traps one way? Like if we didn't have an, would we get shocked? Would we get lightninged on the way out?
Correct. You would just have to do the
Oh.
same thing you did to get in, though.
All right.
Can we skip
Okay, so
that?
before we get to that point, we just scream all the way there, running.
No, we
No.
do not.
Just screaming, "We are not intruding!"
We are not going to attack right now.
All right.
I would like to do that.
Alright, let's get out of here very
So-
quietly.
So, yeah.
You guys
No,
managed.
I would like to scream all that on the way out.
I would like to hit Ballistic on the head with my hammer.
What was that? Nameless.
We all want to do a lot of things.
So you guys make it out without any issues and make it back to Boneyville.
Even though I was screaming the entire man, they have really bad hearing.
Make it.
No, I
back
beat you over the head and knocked you
Oh.
off. Dragged you all the way
Like
back.
just as I start screaming.
Yeah, just right on the jaw. Knocked you right out.
Wait, where'd we make it back to?
Ponyville.
We made it back to Ponyville. Alright, we need
Okay.
to get this information to Cantaloupe. I should probably go. Or we give this to Starlight.
Everyone fly away.
So do you guys
Yeah,
want to put a pin in it here for this session, and then continue with you guys journeying to Canterlot?
Sure.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for here.
Alrighty.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.